The best
of Ron and Fez. It's the best.
All right, Fezzy, I had this email from our buddy Perrynoid. And this is, I guess Perry is in a long-term relationship, maybe even living with somebody. And this actually reflects a little bit on Earl, and even to a lesser extent you, Fezzy. It's a little bit of a philosophical question. He goes, what would be more difficult here? Take a guy who's been married for 20 years and another guy who's been pretty much lived alone, isolated more or less from women or relationships for 20 years, have them switch roles. Who adapts better? So suddenly here you get a guy who's, not unlike you and Earl, a confirmed bachelor. And then you take them for a guy who's, as long as you guys have lived alone, this is a guy who's been in a relationship, marriage or whatever, and they had to do the Freaky Friday. Which guy would end up adapting better?
I think the guy that's going to adapt better is the married guy who's all of a sudden single and isolated.
Living like Fred Flintstone, just out there eating giant sandwiches and playing poker with his friends?
Yeah, as long as he has the pizza delivery number, that guy's going to not only succeed, but thrive as well.
What about for you, Earl?
I think the guy who's been married for 20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's easier to go out there and live alone as, basically, Steve Martin put it best, the lonely guy. You think it's easier for that guy to move from like a family situation to living alone than it is for the guy who's been alone to find himself in a family situation?
Oh, without question, because at least the married guy has had some type of experience. He wasn't always married.
Yeah.
Whereas the guy who's been living alone all his life, he gets set in his ways. He has certain patterns. He has certain...
That's so funny. You and Fez talk the same. So for both you guys, it would be frightening to find yourself in a living relationship right now.
Yeah, where especially like a married 20-year relationship where the responsibilities are set, it's there. The person is always around. Yeah,
people don't go away when they're in relationships. You're around all the time.
Yeah.
What scares you most about this, Earl?
Just having, again, adjustment. Just making that adjustment to where all of a sudden, like, let's say the bathroom isn't set a certain way, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, like, wait a minute, what's this fuzzy thing on my toilet seat?
So
where you're used to having things a certain way, they're not there anymore?
Both you guys you would actually describe as being finicky. You're both finicky.
Yeah, that would be the traumatic thing for the guy that all of a sudden had to find himself in a family dynamic where he's interacting with other people inside the house.
All right, I understand the kids thing would be difficult because there's nothing worse. I mean, it's difficult enough to raise kids. Then when you're raising other people's kids, of course that's rough. But to move in when the kid is now 15 and you've got, you're suddenly the dick who's going, I'm serious. I want all these kids out of this basement. Then you're the world's biggest jerk-off. Or, like, you just suddenly hear somebody say to your chick in that 15 or 16-year-old voice that's, now the boy's kind of getting grown up, and you hear him say to your chick, maybe if you weren't so stupid, we'd have some food around here. It's very fucking difficult not to throw hands when it's not your kid.
Yeah, then it's just another guy busted on your chick.
Yeah, exactly. And, you're the outsider. Or when you start to have that, occasional argument with your chick, suddenly the kids are, quickly on her side. Get out, dick! You don't even belong here, food eater! You eat food!
They're just waiting for the day when they stand up to their dad, I think.
Well, it's not their dad. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
You've got a mom and Carl. You know what I mean? Shut up, Carl. You're never the dad. That never is going to happen. It could happen if you start to raise the kids when they're, really, really little. Or it could happen if the kids decide, I'm looking for a father figure. But most kids aren't going to do that. So that's a bad situation. But let's even take children out of the dynamic, okay? You guys would find it terrifying just to live with another person right now because you've been alone so long.
Exactly. I would terrifying is the right word because it would be, it would be your lack of alone time. I mean, maybe, now it's obviously that I have too much alone time.
Yeah.
But it would go to none, and I think that would be the bigger shock. to go into the
What
real...
are you doing alone? You're just walking around picking at your ass? What is all this alone time you guys need? Earl, you're the same way? You need to be alone, away from the world?
I need my alone time. I would say I cohabitated for a week, and I went insane after about 4 days. Absolutely insane.
Couldn't do it.
I could not do it. I was like really eager and ready to jump into this. Oh, wow, someone to come home to. Fourth or fifth day, I was just like, I need to be alone.
First day, you're like, honey, I'm home.
First 2 days, great. Third day, I was like, yeah, okay, this is getting okay. Fourth day, I was like, oh, God, I want my time back. I want everything. I want my life back. I want quiet.
I would love to do a Freaky Friday. I think I'm honestly tell you the truth, Fez. I think I would have problems out there alone now. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, I've been married for 22 years. Where do I sign up for this contest at? I do it.
Freaky Friday.
Now you've been married 23 years. You got kids?
Got 3 kids. I get my life back.
What is the fantasy, the now I'm alone fantasy for you, John? What is it that you would like best?
Just 5 minutes to myself. Being able to sit on the couch and scratch my ass.
Just being, you would just love what Earl and Fez say that they adore most of all is nothing. Just nothingness.
The ass scratching. The just whole... I can turn the channel if I want to, and there's nobody that's going to say anything to me. I can go and use the restroom without worrying about someone hearing me outside the door.
All right, now that's odd, because you got to remember this is your chick.
Yeah, still.
And sometimes, Your thing is there's a basic shyness and a shameness about the human condition that you have that really you need psychiatric help for. The big thing in life is not someone hearing you tinkle. But Earl, let me throw it this time. You don't think a guy who, like, one of the things I can't stand when you guys start to talk about it, and I just cringe. Not that it's a bad thing. I mean, like, if I had to do it, is when you guys start to talk about these little household chores that, you're going out and getting cleaner and you're scrubbing, and I fucking can't even relate to that.
Yeah.
And you're constantly going to Costco or some fucking unknown place, and you're always happy, Fez, if you get a new sponge that I do not see. I don't know. I might live with a fucking snake-headed fucking Medusa before I find myself happy about a mop.
Well, the problem is there's no one else to do these things. I have to do them. There's no one else around.
What did Neil Young say, though? A man needs a maid. A man needs a maid. I don't understand how you not want to deal with it. I think I would have a real problem often. And another thing, and not to put you guys down, but I think I would immediately fall into, what does my life matter? How does... what am I doing now? I'm not having any effect on people.
How soon do you think you would fall into that?
I think it would happen fairly quick, after the initial, poker nights and Dagwood sandwiches and nonstop drinking. I think sooner or later, you're like, would it matter if I fucking blew away in the wind?
No, I wrestle with that question every single day, and you try to find things that balance it out.
But you don't matter. That's the thing I want to point out to you, and I'll write it down for you. Your life doesn't matter at work or home. But go ahead. What were you saying, Earl?
That's in
Why
the review.
Why are you being sad?
Because you just put it so bluntly, and it just kind of hit me right between the eyes.
But it's true. Your life doesn't matter. But go ahead.
But you try to find things that balance it out. Like with, you find, with family, with work, oh God, my life doesn't.
It doesn't really matter, does it? Jimmy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Yeah.
I got to disagree with Earl on this. My parents, they were married for like 25 years, and my dad thought he wanted a divorce, and thought he would be alone, be on his own. But after he moved out of the house, he kind of started going crazy. He'd come over and he'd pop the tire on my sister's car just so he'd have something to do, and then he decided he didn't want a divorce, and he ended up offing himself. So
yeah, that's another thing about you guys that you don't really realize. You've, for whatever reason, mastered alone time. Where, Fezzy, you will stay in your apartment sometimes from Friday when you get off until Monday when you come back to work. you don't interact with the soul, particularly now after football season.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm just staying put for 72 hours.
But what do? You putter? I mean, I'm not understanding.
It's weird. Like, I'll go online and I'll, maybe read a magazine, I'll watch a DVD or something. It's weird because the time seems to really fly. It's not like I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs, wishing I had something to do.
You're enjoying the time.
I'm just enjoying the stagnancy.
Michael, you're on Ron and Fez. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I'm an over-the-road truck driver. I spend more time out on the road than what I do at the house. And when I go to the house, I'm usually there for 3 or 4 days. And by the end of the 4th day, I'm ready to leave. It just doesn't work, me being at the house. So I would say it definitely would be easier, going from something to nothing.
So you saying, but see, the thing is, you kind of have two lives.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, you do have a home and people, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm married. I've been married 15 years. I've got 2 kids. But when I go home, I'm ready to leave. I spend so much time by myself out here on the road that when I go home, there's times the noise, it just gets to me so bad. I've got to get up and leave and go get away from the noise. Just the normal everyday life inside the house, I've got to get away because it just drives me nuts.
But part of what, let's say, keeps you out on the road, it's your family in a good way, too. Like, you're like, well, I'm doing something, even though this is a rough job, right?
Oh, yeah. I've got a high school education. I drive a truck. This last year, for the year of 07, or 06, excuse me, I made over $60,000. And I live in South Texas. There's not too many other jobs that I could do to make that kind of money.
All right, thanks. So he basically has both, Fezzy, and he's, it's that beautiful loser thing where he wants his home and security, wants to live like a fucking sailor at sea.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be able... I mean, I know he likes his alone time on the road, but it seems like he also wants to get home time to time, too.
Yeah, it does. So it's kind of both, and it's kind of neither.
Right, where he can't stay in one place too long.
Bastard, you're on Ron and Fez.
He's the Midnight Rider.
No, there's a Midnight Rider.
Hey, guys. Fez and Earl, you're selling yourself short as human beings. When you have kids, everybody starts out not having kids, but when you have kids, you're humans. You adjust to the actual time that you're losing to those kids, and I kind of agree with that last truck driver. I'm a truck driver as well. I got the same situation. I used to spend a lot of time with them, and now I'm on the road, and I'm only home 3 days a week. You kind of adjust back and forth between how much time you spend with your kids. You're humans. You adjust.
So you say they would be able to adjust a lot easier in what they say, even though Earl faces for a week and panicked.
Yeah, it's pretty. Ron, you know that it's pretty extreme. When you get kids, you lose a lot of your time.
Right.
But you get away from them, and after a while, you start getting that ability back to be able to deal with what time you have.
Yeah, I mean, you say you lose your time, but quite frankly, a lot of time it becomes like your life. Those things that the kids are involved in become the things that you're involved in, and before you know it, fucking decades start to fucking roll by. All right, thanks a lot, bro. But see, the thing is, there's one thing about having your own kids and adjusting from when they're little and adjusting, and where you guys probably would be now, the chances are you would meet a woman that had kids. Now, we were talking about this, whether it's easier to be alone or not. 51% of women in the country now are alone and dig it. You know what I mean? Like, they're not in a family situation. They're not in a relationship situation where, it's live together, and they fucking prefer it as well.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
I would think that a woman would want a relationship lifestyle more than a guy would.
I think a lot of times it's because a lot of the people in this are older and already buried that fucking guy and gone, I did it once. What do I fucking want to go back to that again for? Here is John. John, you're on Ron and Fez. John, we got you, buddy?
Oh, what's up, Glenn? What's going on, Ronnie?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I wanted to tell you guys, I've been married for going on 7 years, and I got 3 kids, and they left a little while, a couple months ago for 2 weeks, and I loved the alone time right when they left, but then I started missing them. I started, feeling it like I was so used to them being there, and I think you guys can adjust to having other people around you. And then if it came to it, you could readjust to not having people around you. So I think you guys could deal with it either way.
All right, thank you very much, buddy. But you've never really adjusted to those type of things, either one of you, right?
No, never.
Let me go to with Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, to step aside from this question real quick, I have to ask Fez, could Fez even live with, like, a friend like Ronnie? Let's say you were to move in with him. Could Fez live with a friend, or is it just he likes being alone?
All right, Fezzy, what do you think about that? Like, could you live with me or the Ryder or Earl, or would that be too much?
There was probably a time when I could, because I've had roommates before.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, no. I think I would have to live alone. Yeah, I don't even think a roommate would work for me now. To me, that would just be right there all the time.
And they could hear you tinkle.
Yeah, that would be a problem as well.
And worse. As you put it, worse. But the good thing is they probably wouldn't ask you for sex, so you would have that going for you. Jack, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been married 25 years, and I know it'd drive me nuts to be alone. I mean, hell, it would just... I don't pay the bills. I make the money, but I don't pay the bills. I just think after the first 3 hours, you'd go stir crazy.
All right, yeah. And you guys are, you're saying you like your alone time. Both you guys spend a lot of time doing those things that a partner could be doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't cook, but, someone could be doing that for me. I do all the cleaning. It would be nice to have someone run an errand once in a while that I didn't have to.
Yeah, because you actually will, you go, my weekends, I'm going to catch up on my laundry and
I'll go
balance my checkbook and pay bills. And
yeah, that's usually what Saturday is for me. It is, following up on mail, like you said, the bills, running to the pharmacy or whatever else I have to do. Grocery shopping.
Boy, you sure make it seem like it's wild and fun out there. Seems really exciting, Fez.
Yeah, but I have to do all those things, or else they're not going to get done.
Earl, luckily for you, you don't pay bills, so that must help out.
Play plenty of bills. I mean, for me, it was a weirder adjustment because I was always in a crowded house. I grew up with 6 sisters. I had a brother. There was always people around. And then by the time I moved out, I was like, I don't want to be around anybody. My brother and I were going to get a place together. And we both came to this conclusion. He's like, said, no offense, but I'm just completely sick of you and wanted to live alone.
A lot of my friends that come from like big Catholic families have either 0 or 1 kid max. I'm talking about people that came from families with 9 or 11 kids in it. And like they fucking spend their life going, no, not repeating that fucking craziness. It's like living at summer camp. Here's Gary. Gary, you're on Ron and Fez.
How's it going, buddies?
Yeah.
Hey, Fezzy, I got an idea for the perfect roommate for you.
Who's that?
Big A!
Would you want to get a place with Big A?
I'm not going to share a place with Big A. Why would I even do that?
You could learn the ways of the cool. The ways of the cool.
I could tell everyone what he's like at home just to prove that he's not so cool.
Oh, he's pretty damn cool. Don, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, buddies. How you doing?
Good, man.
I got to tell you, I'm married 6 years. When we first got married, the kids, my wife from the first marriage, they were 9 and 12. The original husband was a real asshole. Now the kids are, 15 and 19, and I'm really the only dad they've known over that time. Up until 39, 40 years old, I was alone. I couldn't, maybe it's because of my self-hatred. I couldn't stand myself. And I just couldn't stand being alone. Like Neil Diamond said, I never cared for the sound of being alone. So, I was on the brink
love
this past week of being thrown out. What's that?
Yeah, love all the song quotes we're doing today. It's fun. So you're saying you were kind of like Fez, but he would learn, he would adjust.
I would, I suppose. I I was staring down the barrel of being thrown out this past week, and I tell you, I went crawling back because I don't really remember that life being that great for me. I really, I like having the kids and the wife around. I also like having a separate room for myself. I like them being around the house, but maybe not on top of me all the time.
All right, thanks, brother. Yeah, I mean, you guys think that people are going to be up your ass at all times. It's not like that either. That seems that way to you guys.
That's what it feels like. It feels like someone would constantly be talking to me when I'm trying to think about other things.
And the weird thing about Fez is you really do head home as quickly as you can. Like, you head home after the show all the time.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I usually don't, go to eat with somebody or, anything like that. And usually on a
Unless it's the guys from the show where we all go, let's go out to eat, then you go.
Yeah, then I'll go.
But you never go like, oh, I don't want to go. You know what I mean? You seem like it's a good idea. You like to do it, but you never even say to us, hey, let's all go do this together. You never bring that up.
Yeah, I'm never going to be the one that instigates an outing.
Why is that? Because I'd like to do an outing with you right now. I'd like to tell people.
Different kind of outing.
Oh.
So, I don't know.
By the way, are you turning into Maud, this new speech pattern? Have you moved away from Stalker Patty and you've become Maud?
I just have a little tickle in my throat. It's a little hard to get out today.
It's a little hard in there.
Yeah, but it's when I go out and do regular things, like I'm thinking about, all right, I'll be home. Like if I go out to go do some things, I'll time myself, and I think like, all right, I can be back home by 3:30.
You want to get home as quick as you can.
I want to get back home.
And even like when we go out and we hang with like the RonFez.net people, you have a beginning, middle, and end, and you want to get home.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I have a good time when I go there. Yeah. I'm not faking it. I have a good time. But as I'm going into that place, it's in my mind, all right, I could probably stay here 3 hours. I could leave here by midnight or something like that.
So it is like a little job for you to interact with people.
Yeah, it's an effort, that's for sure.
They're going to lock you up one day. Honestly, they're going to lock you up. All right, here's the guy who started all this. It's Paranoid. How you doing, Perry?
Hey, guys. Absolutely. It's hard work to be around people for me. And like Fez says, it's nice to have someone run errands for you or cook for you. But even that, I'm living with somebody now for the last 2 months, and I'm just absolutely more crazy than ever. It's so hard. It's like it's a job,
Does she know that you're Does she know that you're not digging it?
Yeah, she does now. And I told her
the show.
Should have had her turn off her XM.
It's just crazy because it's like when you're alone in your place, that's the real you. You go outside, it's almost like you're doing this character or this like mask you're wearing, and the only time you can really relax is when you're by yourself. But now
that's kind of interesting.
It's so stressful, dude. I feel like just I don't even know. It's insane, but I totally dig where Fez is coming from now.
All right,
I never want to
Who's the real you, Fez? The guy at home?
Yeah.
Quiet guy at home?
Yeah, that's probably the real me.
Who's the real you, Earl?
Probably the quiet guy at home. Definitely the one that...
So all you guys are out here just to make the money to keep the quiet thing at home. If you could come up with some kind of, I could write a book and make money at home, or I could work off the internet, you would be just as happy doing that. Never leaving.
I don't know if I would be just as happy. I could see myself falling into that pattern, though. The way I've been going now, it seems like an easy enough adjustment to make.
Yeah, I could totally never leave the house the rest of my life. And just have somebody bring groceries and slide food under the door.
All right, Perry, so this fucking relationship doesn't seem like it's going to last.
And you know what? She's the greatest person in the world. She's not doing anything wrong. She's normal.
Right.
But it's just me that can't deal with that. It's like I wake up, there she is. I corner, there she is. There's no escape. And it's not that she's doing anything wrong. It's me that just can't deal with that, So, and it's really hard for her to understand that, I think.
Well, you know what maybe we could do, this might fix it, is Sleeves can write a song about it. Because he's fantastic.
I'm sure he would, and probably capture the moment and the feel.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, well, Perry, keep us updated. Look, there he goes. I am curious to see, because he already seems like he's heading for the fucking cliff. It ain't going to happen.
Right, yeah. He's already got it in his mind that this is not working out for him.
Now, do you ever find yourself fantasizing, Fez, about, what it would be like to have people, not even necessarily kids, but just to have somebody? You're never looking.
I've thought about it in the past, but I haven't thought about that in a while. Probably in a few years. Yeah, I just haven't even thought that much.
When did it end for you?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe when I finally, maybe that was like the first time that I started living alone. When I wasn't living with my brother or Flipper, my other roommate. Maybe that's when it started. When I first started living by myself.
Well, that's like 10 years now.
Yeah, and away from my family too, where they weren't around the corner.
Fred from Brooklyn, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, boys? I'm sitting here listening, man. I got to tell you, Fezzy, your life sounds like a Kathy comic strip, man.
It kind of is. Kathy, he worries about his weight. He worries about his laundry. He has trouble at work. He just wants to get home, put his hair in curlers and his big fluffy slippers on.
Get in that bathtub with a chocolate shake like Kathy does.
Do you put on your comfy clothes when you get home, Fez?
Oh, totally.
What do you put on?
I have a
little dress, little house coat?
No, I will put on a bathrobe.
Second you get home?
Yeah. Oh, the minute I walk in the door. I'm going down the hallway of my apartment building, and I'm already undoing the shirt.
I'm just terrified that at some point we're going to find out that you got some underage kid tied up in there for all these years. Like one of those fucking Pizza fucking Hut guys or wherever that guy came from. It's just a little scary.
What's under that robe? What's under the robe? PJs or underwear with that robe?
Yeah, what are you wearing?
Usually some long gym shorts and a T-shirt. And the robe.
Overlapping robe, not tied tight.
Is it old dirty robe that you fucking has had for years, all jizz stained and fucking egg stained all over it?
It's a nice enough robe. It gets washed.
But nobody else has to see it, so I'm sure it's filthy.
But you know what? I've been married 18 years. I admire him. I completely admire him. I can't smoke a joint anymore. The kids are running around. I got to step outside to smoke a cigarette. I completely admire him.
Yeah, it is. There's pluses and minuses to both sides. I mean, if Fez decides tomorrow, hey, I'm going to Mexico for a week, off he goes. There's no trying to work things out. If suddenly he finds out that he has Super Bowl tickets, he can go. The truth is, though, he doesn't do those things. It's not like, hey, I can do that, but he has all the opportunities. He doesn't do those things, and neither do you, Earl. You live a pretty regimented life.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not as regimented as Fez. I don't have a bathrobe and I'll go out. I'll do things. I'll go out to clubs. I'll walk around the city. I'll go to galleries. I'll do things around. But
when's the last time you went to a gallery? Tell the truth.
It was our last vacation. I went to the Aperture Gallery down on 23rd Street.
And you went by yourself?
I went by myself. It was I saw the Chuck Close exhibit.
Chuck Close.
Close exhibit.
Why didn't you fucking tell me about this? I'd love to go see that. I'm fucking crazy about Chuck Close.
I didn't know if you were in town or not. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Doesn't matter. Let me know if something's in the fucking gallery. Earl, now you're on my bad side. But here he is. He's talking about from, 2 months ago he went to a gallery. So that's what life is about. Like fucking married people can never go to a gallery. Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah,
I want to know with Earl and Fezzy, is there anybody ever been in your life that you want to share those kind of experiences? Like Earl talked about going to the gallery, or Fez, that you just always want to be around them, can talk to them, can relate to that person, or do you get sick of people right away and you'd rather be alone and by yourself?
I can tire people pretty quickly. I don't know if there's anyone that I would like to, if there was anyone that I would want to go to a gallery with. I mean, I even go see movies by myself.
Most movies you go by yourself?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. Probably 90% of the time I go to the movies by myself.
Yeah, you don't have that kind of Kramer, Seinfeld, George Costanza lifestyle where you got your single friends. Even though you could, I know a million people want to be friends with you, and you always, turn it down or hurt their feelings for asking. Maybe this will help you, Fez. Here's just a little drawing of a duck I did as we were doing the show. Maybe that'll make you feel better.
That's really good, a duck profile.
All right, Earl, if you're going to the movies, who do you call?
I will call my friends Daryl and LaRonda.
How come Fez and I have never met Daryl and LaRonda?
You don't?
Because they're made up. At least I'm being honest here.
You are being honest. I give you $100 for that.
I'm not saying, my life is so fulfilling. I go to art gallery openings and stuff. I'm not trying to bullshit you in here.
This is a fucking lie.
I swear to God.
I know, but you go to the occasional gallery like anyone who lives in fucking New York does. I mean, I can walk down the street, see a gallery, and walk in for 4 minutes and not act like I've had some kind of wonderful moment.
Oddly enough, on the TV, they just showed Rwanda, and that's the name he came up with for his imaginary friend.
Oh, it's Rwanda TiVo. That's my best friend. Who are these people, Earl?
And her girlfriend, Hezbollah.
Who are these imaginary black friends of yours?
They're my BRC compatriots. We go to we put the shows together.
What shows?
We had a show. Last Sunday over at Mercury Lounge. They helped organize the show. I went to that show. When I hang out, those are the two people I hang out with the most.
Then why haven't you seen Dreamgirls with these black imaginary friends of yours?
Or why didn't we promo this thing at either one of our fucking shows? Which, we would.
Well, I mean, it completely passed my mind, and I wasn't even sure I was going to even go to it because it was on a Sunday night.
But you said you put the show together, which you didn't.
Yes, I put the show together.
How? How do you put a show together that you weren't going to go to? That doesn't happen. No, but I'm part of the executive. I'm part of the. He's lying.
I am not lying.
You live in a fucking dream world.
The question was, do you go to the movies by yourself?
That was the question.
No, you said if I need to go to the movies, who would I call? And I said those are the two people I would call.
That's a lie. When's the last movie you went to?
The last movie I went to was Children of Men.
Who'd you go with?
I went with Lily. We went.
Thank you very much. There is the fucking thing. You and Lily spent a lot of time together.
Well, not a lot of time together. It was just that one particular day I was off, she was off, and we both wanted to see the film.
Why does he lie?
I am not lying.
You're so fucking honest compared with him.
Thank you.
I'm being dead honest about that.
We don't spend a lot of time together. You don't see one without the other.
And then he got her to be our intern. In a very uncomfortable fucking situation. Because her ex-boyfriend runs the dump button. And when he's in there, when she shows up on the nights that she's there, he just dumps out of everything Fez and I say all night long to fucking get even with Earl. Michael, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, buddy.
I want to ask Ron, and I want to ask Fez and Earl, how do they feel knowing that once they're dead and gone, they didn't leave their mark in the sand? You know what I mean? You got kids to look at your rock later on, down in your family. They can look at the history of their family. How do they know, how they feel that they, when they're gone, man, and their friends are gone, there's nothing on this earth to show that they were there. And just give me an answer.
Fortunately, I'll have tapes of a radio show left behind, so I'm a little bit above the average Joe in that one.
You think they'll be studied by future generations,
They may go to the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. We don't know yet.
We found this from 2007. Actual brilliance. Yeah, I have a hard time believing that anyone will give a shit. Or do I think that this whole mark in the sand lasts much longer than grandchildren remembering you? Because do you know much about your great-great-grandparents? Is there, we all have ancestors. We don't have any idea who the fuck they are.
Yeah, my family has never sat around the teepee, around the campfire, telling us about our great ancestors. We've never gotten that speech.
Nobody knows who they are. That's
right.
Just the way the world goes. You spend your time on this planet. You live it any way you want, and then when you're gone, you're gone. If you happen to leave your seed, yes, you do. If you don't, though, you will be remembered just as much as the person who did. You got to be like Alexander the Great, Betsy Ross, something like that to fucking pull off. And I mean, think about even like, let's say, and you're going like people go back and remember, the tapes of some fucking performer. If you look back in this country, last century, Buster Keaton might have been the biggest fucking star who was walking around. Yet nobody knows his work now. Right. And I mean, that guy was bigger than fucking Brad Pitt, George Clooney, all rolled into one. And yet, that's just the way of the fucking world. It just doesn't matter. Maybe if you're Michelangelo, the art itself lives on. But most people know.
Well, how many U.S. presidents do you really know anything about that are dead and gone? Do we know anything that Polk did?
The inventor of Polk County? I think we do, Fezzy. Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Earl, I wanted to know, is one of the guys you went to the movies with George Glass?
No, ass.
Didn't you kiss him? Didn't you kiss George Glass and you love him?
Did not kiss any man, no.
He sent Earl flowers. How did he know Daisies were Earl's favorite?
Fez, I'd like to hang out with you, but I'll be with Rwanda and Katisha. The three of us, pretty hot and heavy.
The friends we have no idea, never heard of.
You know what? I'm going to put this in Wikipedia. Black failure. And I'm just going to say... let me go over here to Rob. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Rob.
Yes, you're Rob.
Listen, this Fezzy living by himself, he kind of like wants to be on his own. Do you ever go into a pet shop and all the puppies are like up against the cage trying to find an owner, and there's one just like curled up in the corner, don't give a shit about interacting with the world?
Yeah.
Is Fezzy's apartment kind of like a puppy's cage, where he actually can go in there and sit down on a couch and be his friend? Is that possible?
Going to Fez's house is like going to a showroom. It's very fucking oddly uncomfortable. It looks like no one's even walked on the carpet before. And there's these... it's kind of an homage to childhood things. There's these little statues of the Riddler, and it's all very odd. I used to think it's like if a 5-year-old had a fucking American Express card, but it's much sadder than that, because obviously these are untouched things as well. You like to look at things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like to put up collectibles and stuff like that. My artwork on the walls are animation cells.
Yeah, it's not artwork.
That's artwork.
Cartoon things.
But that's what's hanging on my walls.
And most of that's been given to you. It's not stuff that you went out and bought for yourself, right?
Right. Most of it is just gifts. People saying, all right, like some of the animation cells and stuff I got myself, and then anyone that has known that about me has gone out and got me like other collectibles and stuff like that to put up.
Because it's impossible to buy for him. It's really... I know I went out to shop for him for Christmas and just ended up crying and being held by a fucking guy. Steve, you're on Fez.
Hey, boys, what's going on?
Yeah.
Let's review the tape real quick. Earl is a 30-something confirmed bachelor. He's finicky about the decorations in his bathroom. He's scared to death of a relationship with a woman, and he likes to go to galleries. Earl, I hate to say it, buddy, but you're gay. That's all.
And let me throw in, loves mama. Absolutely loves mama.
I love both my parents, thank you very much.
Yeah, but it's all about mama for you, Earl.
I love my daddy, too.
Not as much. Not on the lips.
You call him the suitor, and it really makes you angry. Chris, you're on Fez.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah.
I'm still laughing past the guy about leaving your mark in the sand. But, hey, I was married 13 and a half years. I tried it. You know, I lived with a girl. About the 5th day, I swear to God, I was about to put the pillow over her freaking head while she's sleeping. Just annoyed the shit out of me.
I think most people that if you're single by a certain point, and like Earl and Perry and Fez are a reflection of that, after you've done it for so long, it becomes, the adaptability thing becomes more frightening to you.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it would seem like an entirely different world. It would seem like something you had to maybe escape from time to time, if not just altogether.
Mongo, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Hey, can we do a Ron and Fez cribs on Fez's home? Take the camera through?
It would only be shown on the Cartoon Network. I don't think that anyone, even MTV age, would be interested in Fez's apartment.
We would have to get permission from DC Comics and the World Wrestling Entertainment to show their trademark logos.
Dale, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up?
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I'm 42 and got divorced from my wife. My dad's dead, and I moved back in with my mother, and it's great.
Now, what is so great about it?
Oh, shit, man. She does everything for me. You know, laundry, meals on the table. I couldn't have it any better.
Right, but you will also realize you're living like an 11-year-old.
Well, not really. I still have a full adult life. You know, I don't just, you know, I mean, I come home, get my comfortable clothes, you know, like Fez does when he gets home, and she leaves me the hell alone. I do.
Yeah, but you can't bring chicks home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
That's even more embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm bringing a woman home where my mom is. All right, thanks. Some things are just a little creepy.
Yeah, and that doesn't count in what we were talking about. Could a single guy adapt better to going into a relationship life better than a guy who's been in a relationship for 20 years could automatically find himself alone and single?
What surprises me is that you guys don't have the bravado of, Ronnie B, you couldn't live in my world. It's a little tough out there. You got it a little too easy. Neither one of you act like it's tough to live alone. You feel like you've taken the easy way out.
Oh, yeah, I think it would be much harder to have to be in a relationship and maintain that, especially living with somebody.
But if I got to spend my fucking Saturdays running around getting cleaning supplies and fucking licking stamps and sending shit out, it would drive me fucking batshit insane. I would be like, what the fuck do I work all week for? To live like a fucking animal?
That stuff you just get used to.
And I have no idea. You would never be able to have a maid, right? That's fucking too... Even though you could afford it, it would drive you crazy, this woman cleaning in your house when you're not there.
Exactly. Yeah, the woman... You know, I know what would happen. If I had a cleaning lady come in,
yeah,
I would go behind her and redo everything. I just know I would.
I'd have a little fucking Chinese woman in there so quick, like Mrs. Livingston. And Earl, there's no way you could deal with it either, right? You're not in that apartment too much.
No, I mean, for me, it's just like a self-sufficiency thing. I'm like, I just feel like weird having...
Why don't you fix the ceiling then, Earl? You're always telling us that rain comes through your ceiling.
You know what? There's two things I want to learn this year. I want to learn how to really cook, and I want to do, like... Because I don't know how to cook. I order everything out or get everything in a can because I'm just a loser.
Keep going. What else?
And I'm just learning things like that, like learning how to fix pipes and stuff around the apartment. And
I had the feeling you live like a fucking squatter. Like Ratso Rizzo, you're in there freezing your ass off, dancing around a fucking radio, trying not to fall asleep so you'll die. Here's Ryan. Ryan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
Yeah.
I think the biggest difference is responsibility. I mean, they don't have no responsibility. Nobody's relying on them to teach them anything or bring in a paycheck. You know, they talk about maybe going to the Super Bowl, what's that, once a year? You know, I've never been prouder when my eighth grader, I got a call from the school, they beat the shit out of a 10th grader. They'll never experience that kind of pride.
You'll never know what it's like to have your child mug another child. Do you feel like there's a lack of responsibility in your life, Fez, or no?
I feel like I have enough to do with being responsible for myself. So, yeah, I guess you could say there's definitely a lack of responsibility. I'm not nearly as responsible for as many things as other people, you know, that have kids or relationships or even pets.
But you are self-sufficient.
Right,
You don't ask the world for anything. You just want your little few rooms that you can keep your things in, and you're happy.
That's all I need. I'm my own responsibility.
Are you happy, though, or are you content? Are you somewhat comfortable?
I'm probably more comfortable and content than I am happy.
Because you tried to tell me and the writer one day that you enjoy cleaning, that you enjoy being alone, and when the writer laughed in your face, you were pretty upset with him.
Yeah, because I do enjoy being by myself. I mean, I'm comfortable being by myself, and I guess comfort equals enjoyability.
I believe the thing he enjoyed so much was vacuuming, which the writer must have chuckled a few times, Daddy.
You laughed, you pointed, and you made him very angry at you.
To me, it's a nice accomplishment. If I'm getting stuff done, it's a nice accomplishment to feel good about.
But it's a made-up one, right? I mean, only you see it.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, I couldn't feel comfortable if I knew I had things, you know, if I knew there was dishes in the sink. I couldn't feel comfortable with that.
When's the last time someone's been in your apartment?
Probably a few months ago. Like probably 3 months ago.
What about you, Earl?
A month. Almost a solid month.
All right, before that nut case, who was in your apartment?
I had... Wow. It's probably 6 months. Oh, my God. Outside of, like, the super. 6
And
months.
that nut case was the one that made you hate being with people, right?
No, not at all. I mean, that
was somebody before.
It was somebody from last spring.
Daryl, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, Daryl from Winnipeg. Hey, Ronnie, who are those two women you're working with? One's wearing a house coat, and the other one wants to do housework.
Bathrobe.
And learn how to do things.
Yeah, it is. They are somewhat effeminate, both of them, in their own way.
And I'm a little worried about the next pizza boy to come to Fez's house. I'm sure he's going to see his junk.
I think that'll be the least of our problems. But I do think Fez is bound to do something completely antisocial and somewhat frightening. And that's what started this whole thing between you and ADF and Sheepy, is that you were outside looking homeless and disheveled and confused with the world, and that basically put you on a bus with slow motion, and finally YouTube and MSNBC got this you as a stupid homeless person.
Yeah, that's where it all started. And that was, the odd thing about that day where ADF and Sheepy saw me out in New York was that was the day where it's like, you know what, I'm going to go out. I'm going to hang out in the city, just walk around and enjoy some things. I'm not going to spend all day in my apartment. And that's exactly what happened to me.
But you were wandering around disheveled and muttering.
I was not.
You weren't enjoying because you were, like, confused by being in a store.
I was confused because I had never been in the store before. I couldn't even tell where the cashiers were. It didn't make me muttering and disheveled, according to them.
Tank Rizzo, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I'm a gay man, and I can confirm that from everything that Earl has said, he is gay.
What is it that Earl said that set this off with you? Oh, he's gone. He didn't stay with it. Earl, will you confirm that, and then we'll move on?
No, I will not confirm it, because I'm not gay.
Doom Vulture, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, is Fez's house like Tom Hanks' apartment in Big?
Well, the thing is, Tom Hanks' apartment, at least he had a little friend to share it with. He had people over. He was playing with his things. Where Fez is in a no-play zone.
Yeah, mine just go on display. Yeah, I just put them up like they were
And then you
decoration.
don't even play video games.
No, I've never played video games.
You don't watch movies at home.
No, not too often.
You don't listen to music.
No.
You say you go on the computer.
Right.
What kind of sites do you go to?
Mostly just news sites, something like that, or the message boards.
Show prep.
Right, yeah.
That's show prep.
Yeah.
That's not enjoying articles. That's what do I do when I'm back at work on Monday. So that's really work for you.
Yeah, that's true.
So you've got no art outside of some cartoon stuff in your life.
True.
No music, no film.
No, if I listen to a CD, it's going to be one that I've listened to time and time, like not a new artist, but just a CD that I've had and I've enjoyed before, and I'll just pop back in.
Give me an example.
Like U2 CD.
Which one?
The one that has Beautiful Day on it. I don't even know what it's called.
So you don't even know the name, the title. It got given to you somehow.
Right, yeah.
You listening to it. It brings back all those 9/11 feelings when you first heard it, and you can sit there in your apartment worrying about a terrorist attack.
Basically, yeah.
As you scan FARC.com or Drudge Report. You can see where this sounds a little dismal. You can see where it sounds a little sad.
See, out loud it does seem dismal and sad, but it doesn't seem dismal and sad when I'm doing it.
Oh, it's very tearful, Daddy. Very, very tearful. Come on,
Thank you,
Fezzy.
Ryder.
Fezzy, maybe I could move in with you for an afternoon or two.
You want to try putting him with you for 1 week?
No, I really don't.
I got s'mores, Daddy. I got s'mores. We'll sit by the campfire.
You'll have somebody to talk to.
I can't see myself just talking to the Ryder all night. Or all weekend.
What if you tie strings to each other's balls and you just go back and forth? You have to fucking swing the balls, but you can't break the string. Swing the balls, but you can't break the string. Little games that make life fun.
Enticing as it is, I'm going to go ahead and decline.
You're turning into Patsy Decline anymore. It's just, there's no way to shake you out of this. And you know what? We started with one topic, and it was only supposed to be out there It's a philosophical question.
Right.
But now it turns into Fez's sad life and how we all wanted to change. And this happens time and time again with this show. It's impossible for you just to think about Perry, who wrote this, and what Perry should do. That doesn't matter to you. Yours comes back to, I don't want anybody in my apartment because I don't want anyone to touch my vacuum cleaner. All right, right back, Ron and Fez.
Fezzy. The Ron and Fez Show. XM2. Ron Bennington, Fez Watley. It's the best of Ron and Fez.
All right, I got a little gossip for you guys.
Okay.
True story about a friend of ours over the Christmas break. He's with his chick, and this is a fucking absolute true story, and not only that, a warning to all of us. He's with his chick. He gives her this nice Christmas present. I think she went out of her way and brought somebody else home, made it all nice, right?
Right.
So they're all in bed together, having the time of their lives. He's on the bottom. She's on the top, working them, enjoying. Comes down hard, misses. I guess his fucking hard cock catches the taint, and his dick broke.
Oh.
Shit.
Oh, that is the worst ever.
His dick breaks, snaps in the middle of this. Incredible pain. And his dick turns as black as Earl. His dick just is completely as black as Earl. So they got to take him off to the hospital. And he's going to have an operation done.
Oh, my gosh. You wouldn't even think that
His dick broke, Fezzy!
Quit saying it!
His hard dick snapped.
I mean, chills.
Now,
I can't think of the pain.
I'm telling you the truth. This happened to another friend of mine, a guy I used to own a nightclub with. Fucking one of our fat-ass waitresses who could never fucking settle down when she was on top. Catches the taint, snapped his dick, broke it. The guy's fucking dick now when it gets hard, I kid you not, looks like a boomerang. If he wants to fuck somebody, he's got to go around the fucking corner.
Oh, my God.
That's just insane. That thing can break like an actual femur or something. Like a bone.
Yeah, I went and found out about this after people have done it jacking off. A lot of you pillow fuckers out there, you better be careful. You be careful banging a fucking pillow.
Well, I think I sprained it one time banging a pillow, but I never broke it. Never come close to a break.
You fucked the pillow?
Yes.
Missionary position?
Of course, who hasn't? But just a sprain. Oh, my God.
He broke his dick. It snapped in half and turned black on him.
I am so queasy from this.
Earl, why does this bother you?
That's like the man's biggest nightmare.
You got a black dick to begin with. You're the one that's fucking lucky.
I swear to God, I'm gagging.
All right, I got our friend lined up. Hey, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, it's me, Broken Cock Man.
Mikey D.
Mikey!
Broke his dick.
Okay.
Happy New
And that
Year.
sick, twisted wife of yours, who's out of her mind, Mikey.
Out of her mind.
Mikey, are you all right?
His dick broke, Fezzy. His dick broke.
Oh, I can't hear it.
It still hurts like a fuck. It's unbelievable.
Am I right? Was she on top, right?
No.
You were on...
It was from behind.
Oh.
Okay?
And she's slamming?
This is how it happens. I got her a nice ring for Christmas. She was so happy. She brings over a couple of friends the day after Christmas.
2 guys?
No, 2 girls.
Oh, shocking. It's new for you.
Sorry, maybe you can exchange that.
So in any event, we're going at it. 45 minutes or so. We're having fun. I'm going from one to the other.
So right now you're in your fucking glory, time of your life.
It's like, fuck, what a Christmas present. This is the best. Going from one to the other, I'm going to now go from behind to get my chick. All of a sudden I hear, pop!
Oh.
And I go, uh-oh, this is not good. I run to the fucking kitchen. The base of my cock has now exploded to be 3 times its size. And as the night is going on, everyone's screaming, going, oh, my God, it turns black. By the next morning, it's as dark and as big as an eggplant.
Oh, my God.
So it just keeps swelling up.
With dead blood.
Yeah.
That's the
blood.
fucking problem. It's filled with dead blood.
Oh.
Dead blood. And now, to make it more graphic than it is, I guess, halfway, there's a middle part of your schlong, the middle part of the dick, that is a little bit softer, like close to the head. That filled up with so much blood, it looked like 2 big blueberries were on me. And I'm calling my doctor, and I say to the doctor, listen, I was having sex last night, and this guy's an old Italian guy. He goes, very good, very nice. I go, wait a minute, I think I broke it. He goes, oh, my goodness, are you circumcised? I go, what does that have to do with anything, man? What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Right.
He goes, do you need anything for the pain? I go, I need to do something about the fact that my cock is broken. Now, thank God it didn't bend like your friend. It's broken at the base.
Oh.
So he says, why don't you come in? I go, what are you going to do if I come in? What are you going to do? I'm going to send you to a urologist. I go, consider me coming in now on the phone. Send me to the urologist.
Right.
I go to the urologist, and my head is slinking because I know they know. They just got the facts from my doctor. Everyone's looking at me as I walk.
Why would you care? I would not fucking care about anything.
I didn't want to go to the emergency room because my chick is going, let's go to the emergency room. I go, what? I'm going to go in there. They go, what's the problem? I've got a broken cock. Meanwhile...
Fezzy, his dick broke.
Oh, please, stop.
Snapped. Filled with dead blood.
Oh.
So in any case, he's saying that it's ripped at the base and that we're going to have to wait to see if we're going to be operated on. And it looks like I could have been operated on that night, he said, but the benefits that day would not outweigh the fact if I was operated or not. We have to see what happens to it. So I am in extreme pain. This was last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday goes by. I can't sleep. The pain is just unbearable. Finally, Saturday...
How about when you piss?
That was the one thing I was worried about. No, when I piss, I'm good. It's okay.
That's fine.
But the weight of it, when you're walking around, the weight, because normally the gravity points down or whatever, the weight of the cock makes the break hurt just that much more.
So you got to lay down.
Oh, I got to lay down.
And it still has now stayed 3-4 times the normal size.
Yes. And here's the other thing. I never finished that night. So now I not only...
Oh.
I had the blue balls to begin with.
Right.
And after I saw the urologist, I'm saying, okay, he says, it's not that bad because sometimes the blood spreads to your thighs, to your ass, everywhere. He goes, we haven't spread that much with the blood, so that's a good thing. The next day, though, it spread, and now my balls are all filled with blood. So I have a different color genitalia.
You're, to this moment, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, literally, you're ready to die. You don't care right now about life.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I know I have to go back to the urologist next Wednesday. I got to wait 2 weeks. And then they're going to decide whether or not surgery to repair the tear. Because it really isn't, you don't really have a bone there. But let me tell you something. When I heard that pop...
And it was a pop, right?
It was a pop, Fezzy, man. Oh. It went like a firecracker. Now, it's happened before where it bends a little, but, that happens. But when I heard that pop, and I ran into the kitchen to look at it, I said, the first thing I said was, I broke it. I broke my fucking cock.
Your fucking chick is sinister. You better... I'm going to tell you guys, tell your women they better start in fucking respect. And not act like a fucking animal. Have fucking sex like a rape victim. You want to lay there and don't fucking move and just sob to yourself. That's what we really want anyway.
And the urologist is giving her the looks like, hey, wink, wink. Look what you did, baby. Like it's a big fucking joke.
Yeah, what's so funny? Your dick is broken.
Unbelievable,
Earl, his dick
man.
broke.
What's that?
Earl's fucking ready to throw up. You alright, Earl? What is it? Earl...
He's really gagging. It's coming out right now.
Bring him over here.
Why would Earl be so fucking crazed?
Because this is what keeps him away from the side. Put your arm underneath him. He's ready to faint again. Bring him in here and have him hold the mic. He's, honestly, Mikey, he's got to be carried in.
Oh, God.
And I wish I was fucking making this up. But this guy's weaker than fucking Fez. Stand up and hold the mic here, Earl. What bothers you about this?
All of it.
Yeah, stand up and hold the mic. What? This bothers your stomach?
Yeah, I mean, the blood, the snapping sound.
Here's the thing, Earl.
Oh, I lived it!
I want you to think of the pop of the dick. Now, when his dick broke, it started to fill up with dead blood.
Oh.
Stop.
Dead blood was inside of his dick and his balls. And the pain was unbelievable, Earl. And it could happen to you. It could happen to me. It could be happening right now. I mean, just picture that. All the dead blood stuffed in his balls, down to his ass, his thighs.
Well, I've got two other girls here wrapping it up.
God, disgusting.
Earl, look up at yourself there in the mirror above you and just let yourself go like this. Just spin back and forth and think about the dead blood. That's all happening as we speak. And there was pus in there, too, Earl.
And Earl, you could see it getting blacker and blacker.
Dripping from his cockhead.
Not to mention the two big blood blisters that showed up in the center of it.
And I guess when it breaks, it gets caught up with your bowels, and there was shit dripping through his balls and his cock, girl. He's staying on his feet, I'll give him that.
And you could just see the blood going into the balls.
Now, here's the thing, Mikey.
Yeah.
You've got to leave this woman. You cannot be with her.
She was crazed. And I should have had the lights on because like I said, I missed. That's what it was. She's going back and forth. I'm going crazy. I'm like a fucking animal. She's like an animal.
What'd you do, catch the taint?
Like I said, it's from behind. So I'm going from one to the other, then I go, okay.
What is it, Earl?
Bang!
Hold on, you're down on your knees? Earl, his dick broke.
Stop.
And pussy dick broke. With dead blood.
I'll never forget the sound of that pop.
Spinning.
The room is spinning. We need some video on Earl because he's about to go down again. You know what, Earl? Just relax. Relax. You starting to... I wanted to explain to you. Put your headphones on. What happened? Put your headphones on. Mike, explain what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going from one to the other. I go to try to mount my wife from behind. I miss. There's a pop.
He hears a pop, Earl.
Like a firecracker.
A pop that's a firecracker. And, Earl, his dick broke.
Oh, God.
And immediately started to fill up with dead blood. So he watched his dick turn black. His balls turn black.
As the night is going by, Earl, it's getting blacker and blacker.
Blacker and blacker. And...
like a nut, I go on the inside.
All right, hold on. He's gone. Is he passed out?
He's done. He's out.
All right, try to lift him up. Try to lift him up. Earl, look at me.
Give him Febreze.
Yeah, he's got some.
That's the worst you can do.
Give him a little bit of Febreze and let him catch his breath. Earl, you were out there for a second? Mikey's dick broke and started to fill up with dead blood. Now, Mikey, here's what I'm worried about. Maybe when this thing is over, you might not be able to fuck again.
Well, get this, Ron. Get this. Sunday. Well, no, I'm sorry. New Year's night. New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I said I got to do something because you get wood in the morning like a bladder,
Right.
erection. And then after that, it feels like if somebody kicked me in the balls all night.
Right.
And I can't take that.
Lift Earl up. Earl? Mikey D's got something to tell you. Explain it to him. Mikey.
Earl, when you wake up in the morning, do you sometimes have an erection because you have to go to the bathroom?
Well, his is all filled with dead blood and pus, Earl.
Right. Mine goes into an erection filled with blood, and I have to go to the bathroom, and it feels like somebody kicked my balls all night.
It looks like he has sneezed, Earl, and snot is hanging off the end of his dick. Only it's bloody snot filled somehow with diarrhea. Look at me, Earl. Look at me as we're starting to spin. It's all really bad. Are you all right, Earl? Earl, are we spinning? Earl, is the room spinning?
Starting to turn.
Take a big, deep breath, Earl. Take a big, deep breath in for breathing. Earl, his dick broke. Look at me. His dick just snapped and broke. Filled with dead blood, pus, and somehow shit got into it. I don't know how that could even happen from a break.
I can't even focus. I can't even...
Earl, hold on. Just relax. Earl, you all right?
It was like a pop.
Like it popped. Imagine your own dick breaking, Earl. Focus on that.
That's what got me sick in the first place.
Right.
Out of your own dick.
Well, when he thought, when he puked, right? He started puking, but somehow there was jizz and snot and shit in the puke.
The shit is what I don't understand.
It's all part of your insides. Earl, where are you going? Earl, spin it down. It's all spinning, buddy. It's all starting to slip out of control.
The urologist bent me over to look at my ass to make sure there wasn't blood coming out of my ass.
There must have been something there dripping out, Earl.
And the balls are, you've heard of blue balls? I've got black balls from bad blood.
All engorged with dead blood.
Earl, the Febreze should help you.
Spraying them back on my head. I need water really badly.
You need water, or is the room spinning?
It's both.
I just feel everything getting smaller and smaller. Concentrate right now, Earl, on not being able to focus, not being able to know where you are. That's the thing.
I'm trying to make. I can't even make
Look
eye
up
contact.
at the mirror in the ceiling. That helps you, and spin. Take his head and put him up towards the mirror so he can see himself spinning. And turn him as he does it. And think about, that's going to help you, Earl. Think about your dick breaking.
It's just so hot in here.
It's like a bad dance.
He's just shaking his fucking head back and forth. All right, hold on. A couple people want to talk to you, Mikey.
Okay.
And by the way, you've left her? You're in a hotel now?
No.
Away from this fucking Strega? This witch of yours who no longer cares?
No, she's still around. Where am I going to go with a broken cock?
That's true.
Who would have you?
Earl. His dick broke, Earl. Imagine that. Filled with dead blood, snot, piss. There he goes.
Pitsy, you took your hands off of him.
Earl, it's all happening. It's all going down.
With blood sacks by the tip that is as big as...
Oh, Fez is starting to puke. Earl, Fez is puking. He's out. How can he be out on his pins? He's out. Earl, where are you going? There he goes. There's Febreze. Earl, you okay? What is it? What's bothering you?
Earl, sacks that look like berries, blueberries on the tip of my cock.
I don't even understand.
It's
blueberry season.
There he goes. Oh, jeez. Earl, Fez is sick, too. You okay, Earl? Earl, you okay?
Trouble breathing.
Trouble breathing? Don't let it get to you.
The pop was unbelievable.
All right, hold on. Some people want to talk to you, Mikey. This happened to before. Gio, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey guys, Mikey, I can understand the same exact thing happened to me, but when you go pee, Mikey, are they coming out like little like BB size like blood clots? Because that was what I used to get. Like that's what I got.
No. I didn't break a blood vessel. Thank God. I'm able to pee.
I did, and they were just coming out like I'd have to push so hard, and then they come out like little like blood.
BBs of blood?
Yeah.
Earl, would you imagine that? You try to piss and it's just BBs of blood?
It was disgusting. It hurt so bad because they were just like, I couldn't get them out. And then I push and push and push, and then they just come out like rapid fire blood clots.
Earl, look over. This is what happened to Mikey's dick. Earl, hold on. Put that in his hand. Hold on to it, Earl.
Look at it.
It's the broken dick, Earl, look.
But it took me 3 months to get it better again.
Oh, God.
3 months.
And Fezzi, no more blood clots. It's good. No more blood clots.
JC, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, this happened to me about 22, 23 years ago. And I was fucking my girl. It freaked the shit out of me because she was a freak, man. She let her always fuck her all the time.
What the fuck are you talking about? How did you get through? Here's Dan. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Hey, Earl, I know how they fix this. What they do is stick a huge hypothermic needle in the tip of your dick and pull out this chunky, brown, gross fluid. It's pretty fucking nasty.
Ew.
Would you want that, Earl? Would you want to get, like, some tube into your dick hole and then another needle going up through your dick?
And the ligaments clumped up. They clumped up at by the ball. That it's like a big cyst.
Would that bother you, Earl? A big cyst on your balls? Earl, how come you're not answering?
I have trouble breathing.
What's bothering you?
Earl, how do you think I felt when I heard that pop? Snap a pencil. That's how it sounded.
That was it. That was the pop, Earl. The pop of a broken dick. Where are you going, Earl?
Technical knockout. That's the third time.
TKO? Yeah, he puts his head down. One time he actually went out, but the other, there he goes.
There we go.
Go on the floor, Earl, where you feel better. Lay on the floor like a beaten fucking dog.
This nice clean floor.
Yeah.
Just when you look at an eggplant, that's how my cock looked like.
I'm looking at an eggplant. You fucking passed out. Here's Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Through this summer, 4th of July, me and my buddy were outside, blowing off firecrackers.
Sure. Because you're eight.
Bottle rockets, the whistlers, the plastic ones.
Uh-huh.
Well, we were sitting outside, drinking some beer, and I let one off, and it was like a dud or something like that. It hit the ground. Well, when it hit the ground, it bounced back up and went in his shorts. And he wasn't wearing any underwear, I guess, because it got lodged between his ball sack and his thigh.
Uh-huh.
And it blew up.
Blew up his balls?
It went in between his ball sack and his thigh, and it got caught in there, and it blew up. Well, what it did, because of the percussion of the firecracker, it blew his nut up. From what the doctor says, it exploded his nut because of the percussion from the firecracker.
You see that, Earl? Earl, you okay? What's bothering you?
I'm having a lot of trouble breathing.
Some instances, it's bent, man. It's all the way bent.
Yeah, get some water on the back of his neck and his head. How's that feel, Earl? Better?
Is that water? Dead blood.
All right, Radio Shark wants to talk to you. Shark.
Earl, it might have sounded like this.
Oh, my God. Oh, harder. Oh, my.
Radio Shark production.
That doesn't even make any sense. Radio Shark, stop being good. What's wrong, Fez?
It all kind of got to me.
Earl, does that make you feel better?
No, not at all.
Drink it, Earl, as much as you can. God, you're puking for real? You're an animal.
He's puking. I'm the one with the broken cock.
That is true.
You can puke too.
So, did you ever get rid of the blue balls?
Okay, New Year's Eve, I said to my chick, that's it. I don't care how much fucking pain I'm in. I got to get rid of the semen that's built up behind there because that's even hurting more. So, she orally pleasured me. And
she sucked your blood, fucking dead cock.
Blood and all.
Oh.
She said it felt different, like it was a new cock, like a different cock. But thank goodness that came out. So now my balls feel a little better, but it's still all black.
I'm telling you right now, you should have YouTubed her going down on you, because anybody would want to see someone sucking on a fucking dead cock. I mean, it was like going down on a corpse.
It was hard, but it looked like dead, yes.
How long did it take you to get off?
It didn't take that long because I can't go days without doing this something.
Right, sure.
And remember when it broke, when I heard that pop, that was in the time that
right, that was the build-up, and you're showing off in front of these new girls, so you're trying not to get off too quick.
Yeah, right. I think I'm a fucking big shot. You know, I'm going, hey, one from the other, hey, how's that? And the pop, and I'm stuck with semen in me. Then it's drip.
There you Earl, where you going, bro? Tracy, you're on Ron and Fez.
How you doing?
Hey, man.
Hey, Mike, did the doctor mention if it was that tendon at the base that you ripped? I had a girl in the shower, and I lost control, and when she dropped, that tendon ripped. Everything that happened to you sounds like what happened to me.
Yeah,
but it took about a month for it to get better, and they said they could repair it, but if you don't repair it, it'll still get hard and everything, but it hangs more straight out, looks bigger. So don't repair it if that's what it was, that tendon.
Oh, blessing in disguise.
It's the tendon.
Yeah, but you don't want to fuck around with that, Fezzy. You do not want to have some fucking California-shaped dick. That is not for you. Oh, Mikey.
Oh.
I don't even think I can be friends with you anymore.
Oh.
It's too disgusting. And I know I can't be friends with your wife going down on a fucking sick dead cock.
She had to do what she had to do.
Drink dead blood?
She's disgusting. Fucking slaves wouldn't do that.
I had to be relieved.
Oh. All right. Maybe she's a saint. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. I'm just too disgusted by her. Here's Jimmy. Jimmy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, Mikey D has now turned into half a Hulk cock.
Half a Hulk cock?
Half a Hulk cock is your new nickname.
Just one side, all droopy.
It's not green, it's purple.
Still?
Yes!
Fez, you ought to head on over there and relieve him.
And now the blood is going to the tip. So there's like a little, as if it's like black on the tip. The tip was spared. There was no blood on the tip per se. But as the days go by, the blood keeps on flowing down, you know, and it goes, now I've got like a black and blue, dead blood on the tip.
How long before you can wear jeans again?
Oh, I've been waiting. I don't know. I've been wearing loose things.
I'd wear a fucking pillowcase with the fucking head cut out. I wouldn't give a fuck.
I'm walking around, and then if you sit down too hard, oh, the pain.
They give you any kind of painkillers?
I got Percocets.
That's a start. Earl, I'd be shooting them right into the end of my dick. Earl, I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to do that anyway. For a whole different reason.
I got the perks. It's like fucking candy. It's like I'm taking Pez.
I'm sure. And there's your wife fucking loving the dead cock.
And saying, oh, it feels different. It's like I'm fucking a black man.
Hasn't she hurt you enough?
You know, Happy New Year, break my fucking cock, and then say I'm a black guy.
Well, if anyone knows what it's like going down on a black guy, it's your wife.
Oh.
All right, Earl. Here's what I need you to do. Run down the steps. We're going to start counting. All right, let's get you up and moving. Run into place, big man. How you feeling?
What if we had 3 or 4 fainting spells through this?
I feel really just out of it right now.
Here,
I really
just
do.
stand up.
I mean, that's an effort right now.
I know. You can do it, big man. Just think of this. Now, stand up. Put your hands out to your side like this. Let's see if you can do it.
Just think of the popping sound, Earl.
See that? Helps them faint. Hands are out, right? And that's touch the nose.
There you go.
Isn't that a drunk drill?
Yeah. You're doing it, Earl. You're back. Now look at yourself in the mirror, up top, and then, yeah, that's it. And then just start turning around. Spinning a little circle.
Some twirling.
Just play Ring Around the Rosie with him, would you, Pitsy? Come on, Earl, you're doing it. Ring around the Rosie. Come on, Earl, you're doing it. Yeah, there you go.
Ashes, ash. Oh.
Where you going, Earl? Where you going, buddy?
Earl all falls down.
What happened, buddy? Not feeling so good?
And the throbbing. Just the throbbing alone.
I can't imagine the pain.
Oh, yeah.
The throbbing pain you've been through. Hey, Chad, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah.
So, he's going to be lucky to be able to keep his penis. You guys know that, right?
He could lose his penis?
Yes, there's a very good chance to lose it.
Mikey, did they tell you that? Oh, we lost him. I'm sure he's gone.
Yeah, there's a spongy tubes on both sides, and what it is when it gets engorged, it's so stiff that you can break it and fracture it, and it's a blood collection on both sides.
Why can't these fucking women realize they're not fucking around with a dildo here? This is a person's penis.
It's very fragile.
It is fucking fragile.
You got to watch out for it because it'll sneak up on you. You're having a good time, and then all of a sudden, there you go.
There's only one way to have sex with a woman, Fez.
How's that?
Well, I imagine you wouldn't know. But here's what you want to do. You need to protect your penis. You tie her down. You put a knife up to her fucking throat. Doesn't have to be sharp. It's more about the play acting. I go, if you move at all, I'm fucking slicing this.
You need to have rules before you start.
Yeah.
Informed that if you break it, I can sue you for this.
Right. Or, whenever she comes, you make her yell out her dad's name. And that, I know it seems wrong. I know that seems sick. But sometimes it keeps her under control.
I'm back.
Mikey, sorry about that. This guy said he's a urologist. Said you could end up losing your cock.
My urologist didn't say that. I don't know about amputation.
Was yours in Queens?
Yes.
Do yourself a favor. Get in the fucking city. I'm not going to let some fucking half-Greek, God knows where he went to medical school, urologist fuck around with my black broken dick. I wouldn't do it, would you, Earl?
No.
Upper East Side, that fucker.
Yeah, maybe.
Get on the fucking subway. Come into the big town.
Get your broken dick to Park Avenue.
I don't think I can make it through the subway.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You icing her down?
Oh, I had to ice it down, and then I had to go in the hot shower and put hot water on it. Ice and heat, and it was just the first, like I said, the first few days, it just got worse and worse with the blood just gorging on there and getting bigger and bigger. The ice actually didn't help because that's what made the blueberries come by the tips.
You know what? You should probably talk with Dr. Steve.
Oh, maybe
I'm sure he could
help.
understand what is all happening here.
You think he can help?
I don't know if anyone can help you right now.
Well, I don't know. Next week I'm going to go again. I'll try one more time this guy in Queens.
And you can't stay away from that wife of yours, all right?
She's crazy.
I got to use a bad word here. Hooah. And I'll just fucking leave it at that.
I guess I'll agree with you.
All right, here's a doctor who wants to talk to you.
Oh.
Dr. B, how are you?
Doing good.
Yeah. What do you think about Mikey D?
I think Mikey needs to see another urologist. There's no legitimate guy that wouldn't fix that thing right away. It's dangerous to let it go. The chance of infection and its risk of impotence is going to go way up the longer he waits. He needs to have it fixed now.
All right, did you hear that, Mikey?
I heard it, but to the urologist's defense, like I said, he checked my ass, he checked my thighs, he said it wasn't bleeding that. He wasn't bleeding that much.
Got nothing to do with how much you're bleeding. You got a tear in what's called your corpora cavernosa.
That's
and
what
it
he
ain't
said.
going to fix itself. It's got to be sewn up.
You need to take care of that now, Mikey. You're going to fucking lose it.
Well, he said that we could have done it that night, but he said the benefits don't outweigh it.
What? But get out of fucking Queens. You know what? Here's the thing. If I want to get a Greek salad, I'm going to go to fucking Queens.
Right.
If I'm interested in the best Italian ice in the world, yes, Queens.
Right.
Mets game, Queens. Operations on my cock, I come into Manhattan.
That's a good thing.
That's a fucking 2-1-2 operation.
Broken cock, go right to Manhattan.
I do not play fucking games like you, Mikey.
Well, I didn't
He's suffering with it. Another reason not to wait, he's suffering with it. Nobody would make him suffer like that.
He's at an abortion clinic having a guy look his cock over. He's like, oh, don't worry, it's fucking dead like the fetuses I'm finished with. Forget that. Earl, imagine this. You go down and take a fucking piss, right? There's a dead fetus where your fucking cock should be.
Oh.
That's what Mikey Boy's dealing with right now.
No, not Mikey Boy.
Oh, Mikey D. Mikey Boy's fucking enjoying himself.
His is fine.
Here's what scares me, though, about that wife of yours. When is she going to be out looking for action on the side, Mikey?
Well, like I said, she's already figured she has a new different cock for herself.
Disgusting. Oh, she's disgusting. God
New
bless.
Year's Eve was big for her. She said, wow, this feels a lot different. And it's black, too.
To boot.
To boot.
It looks like a boot.
All right, Mikey, please get out of fucking Queens.
So I should go to Manhattan.
Yes, go to Manhattan. I don't even know how to bring it up to you.
Get it taken care of, then come by and we'll all sign the cast.
Okay.
All right, talk to you later.
All right.
Peace. It's a fucking terrible story, isn't it, Earl? Earl, please talk to me. It's like you're ignoring the show.
I'm just really out of it right now.
What's wrong?
I'm really...
What happened to you?
Just have, like, no sense of anything right now.
Would this be better for you if you went into the surgery with him and you broadcast from there?
That would not be a good idea.
And all I want you to do is take some paper towels and whatever's coming out of his dick, I want you to dab it. Whether it's snot, cum, piss, or that diarrhea shit that he has. Look at her. Look at Fez. Earl, look at Fez.
I know. I can hear it.
Why are you doing that, Fez? For fun?
Sorta.
Just to annoy Earl?
Yeah, but it feels good, too. It's like a little purge.
You wonder why you get called homeless all the time? Why that comes up? Let's take a break. Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.
Ron and Fez here, just relaxing while we're on vacation.
What's your vacation plan, Fezzy?
Ronnie, I am going to sit back, put my feet up, and enjoy a fine Cuban.
Now, by Cuban, you don't mean cigar, do you, Fez?
Oh, no. Have you met Paco?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
I finally got the opportunity to see that Cubs HBO documentary that you were telling me about called Wait Till Next Year. This thing was beat for beat a ripoff of the Red Sox documentary from just like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and they tried to add some subtle changes to it, like having everyday Cub fans, transplanted Cub fans, but it was pretty much followed the same blueprint.
Yeah, beat for beat, the same exact story. And I got to tell you the truth, as far as Cubs fans, I mean, for the Red Sox fans, by the end of that documentary, I really thought I was pulling for them. For Cubs fans, I don't feel like they've been all that punished. I don't know if they're even all that big of baseball fans. They seem to be more of a fans of that ballpark and being out there, and that seems to be their thing.
Yeah, they're really more into the experience, not so much as, well, do we have enough players to really go all the way this year? They don't really break it down. They don't really get into the game and really analyze it where, like, get rid of the GM, get rid of the...
Yeah, they would boo more. If they cared, they would boo more. They seem to be more of, do we have enough beer? Is this good seats? Are we going to stay in the sun? To me, that's where they are.
Steve Bartman should have been dead by now if they were really, really baseball fans.
Well, pretty much in this thing, they all went back and said, not Bartman's fault, which, obviously it's not his fault. He's just a symbol for the fact that they are retarded, can't win.
The best way the fans always get even is just to stop showing up. Stop showing up at games. The owners hate empty seats. Cubs games, packed every game, always packed, and no matter how bad the team is.
Right, that's true, and they don't seem to take it so hard. They like that whole wait till next year thing means it's very nice. We got a nice park here. We got a lot of booze to drink. This is all fun for us. I mean, to me, the thing that bugs me is that the seventh inning is just about a celebrity now showing up and singing. It's not like a Chicago thing at all. Whoever has a movie due stops in and sings that song. And they even admitted during the playoffs that a guy who was a Southside guy came out and jinxed him.
It was Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
And he's a root for the champions. Completely jinxed the team. And he was a Southie, so I don't know. It's just this whole thing where it's like hip and chic. It's not really, hey, this guy's been a Cubs fan for like 80 years or something.
Where, Boston, and I know you don't like the Red Sox, Earl, but you have to admit they're knowledgeable fans. They're true fans of the game.
Yeah, they know the game. They know when their team's going to go into the tank. And when they lose, they take it so hard.
All right, Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Grew up Red Sox fan, still Red Sox fan. I'm out in Arizona. Wife's from Chicago. Take her out there this summer for her birthday. When a Cubs fan turns to me and says, hey, knows I'm a Red Sox fan, and says, hey, you know how it is. I turned to the guy and said, no, I don't, because you guys, this is a beer garden.
Right.
This isn't live or die. They're not asking for anybody's head. Red Sox, Yankees, same thing. Somebody doesn't make it, we're asking for somebody's head at the end of the season. These guys are more in a party.
Yeah, it just seems like they enjoy it like it was the local softball team where everybody goes out and has fun together. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Now, that's not saying that they can't put asses in the seats. But overall, I don't think they live and die with it. And let's face it, they had Michael Jordan for all those years. They know what it's like to have a parade. They know what it's, a decent place to see sports. Chicago's had a lot of good sports teams over the year. Charlie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, you guys are right. It is a great atmosphere at Wrigley Field, and it's always a good time. But you got to give us credit, man. We do care about our team.
I don't think that you care about winning and losing.
Oh, hell yeah, we care about winning or losing, man. We were devastated in 2003. The whole town was just devastated for weeks.
Why, when you guys, if it's a losing fucking year, you're 20 games out, why is there some celebrities singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game and everybody's up having a good time with it?
Well, if we know there's no chance, you might as well make the best of it. And goddamn right, we got the best beer, best atmosphere.
Yeah, I think that is more what Earl said, more about style and fun and less about being a real ball fan. Rich, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I grew up 2 blocks from Wrigley Field, and before '88, you couldn't go out after dark. That's why they didn't have night games. And as far as Take Me Out to the Ball Game, I agree 100%. They should pull a fan from the seats to come up and sing it, or even play Old Harry Carey, as opposed to this celebrity fan base.
I think it would make them look more like they have their own tradition. But if you and then I don't mind like a real Chicago guy like Bill Murray or Ditka or Vince Vaughn. All that stuff is fun and funny to me. But when you got Ozzy Osbourne and whoever happens to have something coming out, it's just not getting to me at all. Hey, Pete, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
That thing is like a fraternity party, man. It's just the baseball's maybe third on the list there. Try going to the vet, it's a shrine to concrete and plastic when that thing was still up, and rooting for that team for 40 years.
Yeah, that was an ugly, ugly environment, although the new ballpark really has been Disneyfied. It really is a nice place to spend the day now.
I mean, I went to Wrigley, and it's guys and their wives and their kids.
You see a lot of at Wrigley. You see a lot of people with their backs to the field, and I'm not busting their balls, but it's just a real fun, nice place. It's like being at a parade or something. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Hey, Donnie boy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, what's going on, man?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, these guys in Chicago are pussy boys. I was at a game, about 6-7 years ago, second time at Wrigley, and these fuckers gave me and my buddy the boot. Dude, we were lit up, but they were playing the Mets, and we were yelling 6 rows behind the Mets dugout at Valentine and Helton, and they came down and they gave us the hook, Ronnie.
Yeah, they're not used to, I don't think, negative stuff at a ballpark. Everything has to be positive, and we're all going to sing together now.
There was no swearing going on,
yeah.
And these Chicago guys talk about how rough and tumble they are up in the bleachers, the bleacher bums. These guys are faggots.
I don't know if I go that far, but thanks.
I agree with Donnie Boy.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Anyway, this thing is on HBO. It's called Wait Till Next Year, Earl?
Yes, it's called Wait Till Next Year. It's been running all month on HBO.
And basically, it is just about what it's been like to be a Chicago fan all these years. And again, I can't feel bad for them. They got a beautiful ballpark, a real downtown ballpark. A great community of people who come out and support that crappy team. No matter how bad they shit the bed, nobody seems to care. They still come out anyway. So I'm going to go along with what Earl says. You get what you pay for. If that's the way you act, like you don't care, yeah, okay.
Perfect example is Camden Yards in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Great ballpark, maybe the best in the big leagues. Fans stop showing up because they don't put the winning team on the field anymore. They've gone, 9-10 years without making the playoffs. The fans said, you know what, we had enough. We're not going to show up until you put a winner on the field or commit yourself to winning.
Camden Yards was probably the first of the new kind of ballparks that were that throwback ballpark, right?
Yeah, that was like the first of the big retro parks.
Where everybody showed up the first few years and was loving it. And now they're demanding a winner.
I totally disagree with Earl, because basically what you're saying is you're a bandwagon front runner who will not support the team even when they're down. And Earl's probably one of those people who didn't show up to Yankee Stadium in the late 80s like my family.
But let's go back to the Cubs, all right?
Okay.
You've got a team here that hasn't won in what? 90 years? 98 years now? Only made the playoffs a couple times since. And it's still August, and people are still acting like they're fun. In September, they're 20 games out, and people are singing and dancing and acting like, well, it doesn't matter, we're all out at the old ballpark. Why should an owner care about putting a winner on the field if the fans don't care?
Well, that's a good point, but I mean, that's the owner's prerogative, and the fans should guilt the owner into it.
That's the owner's prerogative. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about at some point you got to say, what do you do to this guy to make him want to have a winner? Adam, you're on Ron and Fez.
I'm just totally astounded that anybody can deny that the Cubs fans are actual fans. I go to Cubs games for one reason, and that's to go see the Cubs, to support my local team. Granted, it takes me about 3 hours just to get to the stadium. I go to watch the game. I don't care who sings the 5th inning or 7th inning stretch. That doesn't mean anything. And in fact, as far as I'm concerned, they should do that. If they're going to do these celebrities, they should donate money or something and give it to the Cubs Foundation or something. But You know,
I'd rather see him turn a double play. I'd rather see him fucking hit the ball out. I'd rather see him have a winning team. I don't give a shit who sings what, when. It's ridiculous.
See, that guy's just worried about community and what the Bears mean to the city. I mean, the Cubs.
Pete, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, it's Pete down in Florida, down in old Fezzi's neighborhood. I grew up in the north side of Chicago as a Cub fan my whole life. The last time I was there, I went up there in July and sat in the bleachers. And let me tell you this, it costs you $100 to sit in the bleachers now.
Right.
And I'd say at least 60% of the fans there are watching the game. The rest of them are just kind of drinking and having a ball, and which is great. But one thing you got to understand is there's no other sideshow at the ballpark. So guys are going to wander their eyes, they're going to look at girls, they're going to drink their beers, they're going to have a good time. And so for what it's worth, the ballpark is the attraction.
I got to agree with you. I think you can't say anything bad about that ballpark. It's great location. It's a great thing. It's a large wave of white people coming out and drinking and behaving themselves and having a good time. That doesn't necessarily make them baseball fans, though. I don't think baseball fans will put up with this. But watch this documentary on HBO. Wait till next year.
Yeah, but why not reward those fans who do pay top dollar and put a winning team on the field? It'll make the experience that much more rewarding. You'll have a great time and your team's winning.
Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Ronnie.
Yes, sir.
You're from Philly.
Yeah.
You ever been to when the vet was up and the Cubs or the Phillies are 20 games out and there's 8,000 people there?
Right.
That shows you that the Cubs fans in August when they're 20 games out and they're packing the stadium, yeah, they're there to have a good time, but they're also there to show, hey, we know this team sucks ass, but we still love them. We don't care how bad they are.
Exactly. They do not care whether their team wins or loses. That it's all kind of that lovable loser thing. They end up enjoying themselves. They think it's kind of fun and funny that their team stinks. Here's Brian. Brian, you're on Fez.
Hey, guys. I want to talk about the Lions, man. Talk about a team that packs a stadium and is still shit in the bed halfway through the year.
Oh, the Lions are awful. When's the last time the Lions have done anything?
Long before I was alive.
It's got to be back in the 90s, the last time they went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when they really looked like they even had a chance.
I think they made,
like in the 50s.
They made like 2 straight NFC championship games in the early 90s with Barry Sanders, but after that...
I didn't even know they went that far.
Yeah, they were in a couple of NFC championship games.
I mean, Barry Sanders, it was just such a one fucking bullet gun that they had. There was nothing happening except for this amazing ball player. Dennis, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, how you doing today?
Hey, buddy.
Listen, I just want to let you guys know, it's that whole documentary is about those lovable Cub fans, because if it was about baseball, they would at least talk about Sammy Sosa for 3 or 4 minutes. The guy was the best player in baseball for 5 straight years.
Sammy Sosa, they showed him for a heartbeat. They showed Ryan Sandberg for a little longer than that. Of course, we had to do the fucking Let's Play 2 gimmick. But all in all, it really was more about the fans than it was the ball team.
Yeah, those guys aren't as good as fans as the Yankee fans and the Red Sox fans. And I'm a Yankee fan. I'm saying the Red Sox fans are passionate and they would care about their players. So.
I remember that there was a time during the 80s where I watched a lot of Cubs games because they were on in the daytime. It was like the beginning of the whole cable deal, so it was exciting to be able to watch WGN and have baseball on and Harry Carey. You could sit there and get drunk in the afternoon and feel like you were doing something. But all in all, and Harry Carey was a lot of fun and those games were fun to watch. But all in all, there was always a feeling of they're not that fucking serious. They're not that serious about their team.
It's easy to make a documentary about those fans because you are going to have to wait till next year, and those fans are willing to.
Here's Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, buddies. How's it going?
Good, buddy.
These Cub fans don't understand what being a real fan is. You know, you can support your team, but when your team's not, producing on the field, then you're passionate about, like the Yankees fans, the Red Sox fans, you boo or you're public about, your disappointment in the team. You still show up to the ballpark, but, you don't just cheer no matter what and sit there and have a party if your team is 15 games out of first place.
You know, I grew up a Phillies fan, so it's probably too far in the wrong direction there. But Mike Schmidt played Hall of Famer. They just recently did the best all-time players in the history of the sport. He was starting third baseman for that team. And I can tell you the truth, he still disappointed us in Philly. We were still completely let down with this guy. It just didn't seem like he tried hard enough. And that's the way I grew up. It's a whole different fucking thing.
Chicago must be a dream trade for any player. To go there and not have the fans yell at you whatsoever.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Michael, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, Chicago is like the third largest city in America. I think Wrigley Field is such a tiny little stadium. It's way overrated that these fans can pack this place.
Well, remember, they got two ballparks in that town.
No, well, yeah, but still, it's two separate sides of the city. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like 300 people sit in that stadium. It's a tiny little place.
What do they seat, Earl?
I think it's like around 39,000. It's not a big place at all.
It's not a big place. That's part of the thing. It's great. It's a great stadium. It's intimate. It's got that feel. It's almost like, British soccer or something. Everybody's very close and they're singing and they're having a great time.
That's the whole allure of it. You're right on top of the field. Every seat, there's not a bad seat in the place as opposed to, let's say, the old Cleveland Stadium, which was like 74,000 seats. It was like, if you were in the upper deck, you were out in the canyons. You could hardly see the game.
Jamie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, we put a good team on the field every year, except by May, they're out of it, because somebody gets hurt, we're cursed, and shit, you might as well get drunk at the end of May, because we're 20 games back. I mean,
see, I don't buy into the curse thing. I buy into the just fucking shitty team, and the city lets these guys get away with it. If you're putting together a team, and you find out, hey, there's shit, we're still packing the place, why should an owner care? Why should an owner care about putting out a championship team?
Yeah, the Red Sox did that for years. They didn't care because they always used to pack out Fenway. And then, then the light bulb went off in the new owners' heads. They went, you know what? What if we put a winning team on the field? We can own this town. And they did. I mean, when they played the Yankees in 2003, they got an 80 share in the city of Boston. Every television, they said like 8 out of 10 television sets in Boston had the Red Sox-Yankees on for that entire 7-game series.
Yeah, that's a real baseball town. That's a real baseball town. Michael, you're on Ron and Fez. Lost you, buddy. Here's Tommy. Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Tommy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Tommy?
Tommy?
See me?
Tommy. Whatever happened to, fans being rowdy? I mean, there's no home field advantage anymore. I mean, the opposing team should be afraid to play in a stadium. They should be afraid of getting stuff thrown at them,
Well, that's changed with the ticket prices going up. I mean, it used to be like that in football. And now, every football stadium is almost a Disney type of deal. There's no tough stadiums to go into anymore. I guess Philadelphia had the last one.
Yeah, and then they imploded that one. But now, yeah, it is pirate ships and fountains and everything else.
Yeah, your stadium, Fezzy, Tampa, it's almost embarrassing. I mean, it's one thing to have a pirate ship when you're the Super Bowl champs, but when you're 0-4 and you have a pretend pirate ship and little guns going off, that's fucking embarrassing.
The Tampa Stadium is crazy because you see the pirate ship on TV, but the rest of the end zones, it's all set up like the Pirates of the Caribbean Village. All the food, the concession stands and stuff are like little pirate shacks and stuff.
Starving. Earl, we got any pirate hot dogs?
No, we're just fresh out.
Damn it.
Arr, I'm hungry.
Sean, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I think to say that Cubs fans aren't baseball fans, I think whoever says that's full of shit, man. I've been a Cubs fan my whole life, and when we're passionate about baseball, and I'm a true fan of the game.
Now, you passionate about baseball or drinking?
Yeah, baseball, not just the stadium, this cool atmosphere. I'm a fucking baseball fan.
Now,
and to see. And our players get booed. Why do you think they traded Sosa? When Fan Appreciation Days came out before the season, his picture came up on the board, and the fans booed his ass. That's why they traded him.
Now, what reason did they boo him? Because he got caught?
No, this was because of a lot of fans blamed him for not going to being the elite player he should have been and taking our team to the series. A lot of fans blamed him for that. And, as
The guy hit 66 home runs. How further can you take him?
Did, but yeah, he did it at one time, but then,
3 years in a row he hit over 60.
I mean, what more can you do?
You cannot be a baseball fan. You sound like, you know what it was? You were too drunk to really understand what he was doing over the last couple of years. Here's Rod. Rod, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yo.
Yeah, buddy, what do you got?
Hey, you think the fuck it if we win or lose attitude from the fans rubs off on the players as well?
Absolutely.
On the bench watching everybody having a fucking blast up in the stands. Why in the fuck should they bother caring if they turn a double play or not?
Thank you very much. That's the point. Send them into the big-ass prize closet. We're finally getting the point of what we're talking about.
You'll get one of those DVD copies of Scarface, the Platinum Edition, thanks to Universal Home Entertainment.
I like Scarface. I like to see the Platinum Edition. That's exactly what we're talking about. Supporting your team through thick and thin, it guarantees a lot more thin.
And more importantly, like, let's say the 2004 Red Sox,
yeah,
they will be beloved forever. They could be murderers, rapists the rest of their lives. They brought that title back to Boston. They will always be beloved. Theo Epstein he can never put another winner on the field. He will always be beloved in Boston. You don't think that's the motive? If I'm going to Chicago to play ball for the Cubs, I want to be part of that crew that brings the title back to the North Side.
All right, Pitsy, come on in here, buddy. You go to Shea Stadium, Mets fan, for your games. What an ugly little hole that is. Where would you rather be for a game? Shea with the Mets or over at Yankee Stadium? What's a better atmosphere for you?
Shea Stadium.
Yeah. Why is that?
I just feel safe there. Like, Yankee Stadium is just grimy. I just hate the way it's laid out. There's no place to get food. You can't smoke there. You have to leave and buy another ticket if you want to smoke a cigarette at Yankee Stadium.
Shea Stadium's in the middle of a hole, literally. The subway surrounded by subway tracks.
What the fucking neighborhood your stadium's in, Earl?
Yes.
I mean, you're comfortable there, but some people aren't.
With tons of cops, undercover, and
you know what my big problem at Yankee Stadium? I don't want white bread with a fucking hot dog. I do not understand that role. It's ridiculous. Pitsy, you enjoy Shea Stadium, though? You don't find it to be a little rough?
No, it is. I mean, you got to get used to it, though. Yeah. I've been going there for 15 years, so I love it.
You looking forward to a new stadium, or you want to stay where you are?
I'm going to miss it, because there's little things you can do there. You could go smoke in the hallways. Nobody says anything to you,
right.
That's all going to get cut out.
All comes back to smoking for you, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I love it.
In the new stadium, are they going to keep the giant apple that comes out of the hole?
I hope that's the one thing they bring over.
Here's Charlie. Charlie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I've been a Cubs fan for 43 years. I don't care if they win or lose. We just get drunk. But, hey, Ronnie, I got a question.
Well, no, let's move on from them before we'll get back to this. You could question another time. Because that is the point. And that's what they refuse to say in this documentary. And I know that there's some ball fans. I'm talking about the majority of those people that show up at Wrigley are there because it's the party. And you get a lot more women at that stadium than any place I've ever seen. There's a lot of single chicks hanging out at that stadium.
I had more fun there, really, than I ever did at a baseball game. Because I wasn't watching the game.
It's like going to spring break.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't like Fort Lauderdale and fucking over Easter? Blair, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, listen, guys. I'm a true Cubs fan. These guys who say they don't care if the Cubs win or lose, those are idiots. They're not real fans. They're the ding-dongs sitting there. I went out there to the bleachers one time. I go there about 5 times a year. I was out in the bleachers one time, and I couldn't stand the smelly drunks. They weren't there for the ball game. I'm trying to pay attention to the ball game.
Right.
The problem with the Cubs is the Tribune Company. That's the problem. All they care about is the bottom line. If they fill up the stadium, and now Earl, it's over 40,000 because of the expansion with the bleacher seats out there. But if they fill it up, they don't give a shit. So now they're trying to break up this company because they bought it from the family who owned the L.A. Trib, and I hope they do because when the Tribune sells the Cubs, that's when the Cubs will become a winner. It's ridiculous. It makes me sick.
It really has turned into a big marketing ploy for that company as well.
The thing about the Cubs is, too, how people used to watch on the roof and stuff, and they bought that.
Yeah.
And you have to buy tickets to sit on those roof seats now from across the street.
Yeah, that used to be the cool thing to be able to go over there, and it's all... but, it is 2007. We're on our way. You know, they're not going to let you get away with that kind of small-town shit anymore.
Pitsy wants to look through a knothole in the fence, watch the game.
And whoever buys the Cubs, you think it's going to be an individual guy. It's probably going to be another big corporation like Fox.
Everything is corporations, and there's our problem. Every time you turn around, it's some corporation. The fucking ham and eggers don't know what the hell they're doing. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez.
Yeah.
I just want to say how sad the Cubs are, and how can you have a winning season when your whole curse is based on a goat?
I never fell for the goat bit. I don't understand it. I don't know why they came up with it.
The weird thing about the goat curse, it was like the Cubs fans were trying to keep up with another team that has a tradition of losing, the Red Sox fans. Instead of like trying to, be above it and try to have a winner, they wanted to keep up with other losers.
So you said they didn't even have their thing, that the goat thing never even happened. That's a lie. Because they were mad about the Babe Ruth curse.
Right, all of a sudden the goat thing became fashionable.
Here's Sergio, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddies. I just want to say, it's not, as the true Cub fans, like I try to think I am, we just get caught up in the demand of that ballpark. We get pushed out by high ticket prices and the fact that people want to go there just on a vacation day or because they're in from out of town, and we just kind of miss out on the action. But I just don't want to hear any more crap from these Red Sox fans who catch their girlfriend fucking their best friend every October for the last 86 years, pull one out of their ass, and going to tell us that they're better fans than we are.
You know what? I like your attitude. Big-ass prize closet. Wrap your Zat in Chi-Town. Go ahead, Sergio. Go pick something up for yourself.
You'll get a Scarface Platinum Edition DVD.
Valentine, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I got a question for you, Ronnie. How come the Cubs have the largest contingency outside of Wrigley? You go to Ant Ballpark, Milwaukee, Dodger Stadium, and it's always full of Cubs fans when they're playing. What's up with that?
WGN, running those daytime games. Anyone who's an alcoholic has sat in a bar in the middle of the afternoon and watched those Chicago things. You gotta love them. It's like watching the Grateful Dead and showing up at a Grateful Dead show. You're going to go and be part of it. Doesn't make you an actual fan of the music, though. You become a fan of the scene.
It's like the Bad News Bears. They're going to lose, but you fall in love with them anyway.
Harry, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Good, buddy.
Hey, the whole city of Chicago, they've always accepted mediocre. I mean, look at how long they supported, Man Cow? I mean, they always, mediocrity is Chicago. That's about it.
Yeah, okay. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. The point is not to get into radio wars bashing. It's to check out this thing that you were a fan of, right, Earl, the documentary?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Wait till next year.
You like a baseball documentary no matter what. You will always say, I saw a great documentary. 99% of the time it has to do with baseball.
Yeah, it always follows the same boilerplate template, but I'm always watching. I watched the Mano one, I watched the Ken Burns one, I watched the one on the 51 Giants.
What's your favorite of all time?
I like the Ken Burns one a lot.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot because it was really thorough, really in-depth, and then the other one was When It Was a Game. Was unbelievable.
I watched all those stupid things too. I like the one about the city of Oakland. It was basically about the A's and the Raiders. Real 70s stuff. I forget the name of it.
Rebels of Oakland.
Thank you very much, Earl. You should go and get yourself a nice little DVD. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, there's a great song by a guy named Steve Goodman that sums up the Cub fans' attitude. It's called The Dying Cub Fan's Last Request, if Earl can find it.
All right, Steve Goodman wrote what? I'm very familiar with the name, but...
it's called The Dying Cub Fan's Last Request.
But didn't Steve Goodman have a hit with something before?
Yeah, he actually wrote the greatest country and western song that David Allan Coe made.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Now I know that song. That whole Call Me Darlin', Darlin'. All right, let's take a listen to this Cub song.
By the shores of old Lake Michigan, where the hawk wind blows so cold, an old Cub fan lay dying. In his midnight hour, the toll. Round his bed, his friends had all gathered. They knew his time was short. And on his head, they put this bright blue cap. from his all-time favorite sport. Told him it's late, it's getting dark in here, and I know it's time to go. But before I leave the lineup, boys, there's just one thing that I'd like to know. Do they still play the Blues in Chicago when baseball season rolls around? When the snow melts away, do the Cubbies still play in their ivy-covered burial ground? When I was a boy, they were my pride and joy, but now they only bring fatigue to the home of the brave, the land of the free, and the doormat of the National League. He told his friends, you know the law of averages says anything will happen that can. That's what it says. But the last time the Cubs won a National League pennant was the year we dropped the bomb on Japan. The Cubs made me a criminal, sent me down a wayward path. They stole my youth from me. That's the truth. I'd forsake my teachers to go sit in the bleachers in flagrant truancy. And then one thing led to another. And soon I discovered alcohol, gambling, dope, football, hockey, lacrosse, tennis. But what do you expect when you raise up a young boy's hopes and then just crush them like so many paper beer cups, year after year after year, after year after year after year after year after year, till those hopes are just so much popcorn for the pigeons beneath the L tracks to eat. He said, you know, I'll never see Wrigley Field anymore before my eternal rest. So if you have your pencils and your scorecards ready, I'll read you my last request. He said, give me a doubleheader funeral in Wrigley Field on some sunny weekend day, no lights. Have the organ play the national anthem, and then a little na-na-na-na, hey-hey-hey, goodbye. Make 6 bullpen pitchers carry my coffin, and 6 groundskeepers clear my path. Have the umpires bark me out at every base in all their holy wrath. It's a beautiful day for a funeral. Hey, Ernie, let's play too. Somebody go get Jack Brickhouse to come back and conduct.
You could just see that he loves the fact that they fucking lose. That's the whole point of this. It's not even a situation where it seems like he cares. They love being the lovable losers. That's the Chicago Cubs.
Is that Arlo Guthrie?
No, Steve Goodman.
I know, but jeez.
So what's your point?
Wrap it up. These guys with their little ditties. 12-minute epics, for Christ's sake.
You know what? I now I get. Now I got the Arlo Guthrie premise, which isn't bad. Now that I know where you're actually going with it, that, you know, all right, works for me. Here's Rob. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to say about being a diehard fan, you know, I'm a 49er fan. I have been for years. Whether they win or they lose, you know, the big streak they had there, they won 5 Super Bowls. And look at the year they've been having this year and last year. It's awesome, you know, and I'm still a diehard fan, always will be, and I'll never change that, you know.
Yeah, so you just show up, you don't care whether they win or lose. It doesn't matter one way or the other to you. Oh, it's just as good as when you have a team when you can't win a game as when you win the Super Bowl. You feel no different between one and the other.
Real fan supports their team. My family had tickets for 25 years. We go to the Yankees games even when they lose 8-0 against the Orioles. And
you're still happy.
Still happy to be there.
So if they keep raising the ticket prices, right, will you keep buying them even though, and the ownership...
Have you seen these two at the State Fair walking down with a fucking balloon? Trying for another Cupid down? Of course they love it.
No, but if they keep raising the prices, right, and you know the team is not committed to putting a winning team on the field, would you still buy tickets?
Yeah, no, because we will make ends meet. You have to support the team in the dark times. That's what a fan is, fanatical.
I got news for you. I grew up a Phillies fan. 1980, they won it all at the parade. I fucking booed them. I honestly thought they could have swept. I thought they let the city down. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here is Liam. Liam, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's going on, buddies?
Yeah.
I want to get into discussing about real quick. You guys were talking about the Mets, and like I'm a diehard Mets fan. Love Shea Stadium. Don't want any part of a new stadium or whatever. But I do know it's a shithole. And I got a quick story. The last year that the vet closed, me and a couple of my friends went down to the vet, pretty much just to see it. I've like seen it my whole life, you know, for the Mets and Giants or whatever, and just always heard about how it was such a shithole and such a dump. So we just went down pretty much to see like what a dump it was. I step out of Shea Stadium and into the vet. I'm sitting there looking around like, wow, this is a fucking beautiful place to watch a ball game, man. It was
yeah, as bad as it was still better than Shea.
I was sitting there just like my whole life. I heard this place was the biggest shithole. It was just fun.
You know, Shea Stadium reminds me of the Steel Pier in Atlantic City. It's a throwback in a way that isn't good. Rather than like, you know, in Boston and Chicago where they've got that, oh, this is really old when things were great. Shea is like old when things were bad.
Like Shea still has the throwback pillars and rafters that obstruct your view.
Right, where you got to look around them.
So it's a throwback to, the negative aspects of a ballpark.
Paul, you're on Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to say that I can't believe you gave a prize to that guy from Chicago, that douchebag. They are so happy to be losers. If they fucking win, they're just going to be another shit bum team just like Kansas City or Tampa Bay. I mean, in Boston, we've had our nuts kicked in by Bucky fucking Dent, by New York, by the Mets, by everybody. But at least we're always there and always to win. What have the Cubs fan ever done?
I got to agree with you there. The Sox fan, to me, is the pure baseball fan, where the Cubs fan is the more pure fan of the baseball day.
They get that Midwest mentality. Oh, he just kicked our ass. Well, thanks for doing that. You know?
Yeah, very similar to Cardinals fans too in that way. I think Cardinals fans are like Cubs fans. I don't think they really care about the loss.
Cardinals win. That's the big fucking difference. Cardinals have had some victories, so that's a great baseball town.
Everyone, like, if you ask like baseball writers, they'll vote St. Louis as the best baseball town because they really appreciate the game. And there is his vocal.
Where do you go for Bronx?
Who? No, because he listens to Mike and the Mad Dog sometimes.
No,
that is a great baseball town. It honestly is and always has been.
I know it's a great baseball town, but you can't tell me that it's better than Boston, than New York, and maybe even Philly. You can't tell me that.
I am telling you that. I'm telling you that just to be on the other side as you.
We also can't tell you to brush your teeth.
Where's the best baseball town in your opinion?
I'll say New York City, but Boston is fucking tied for first. I'll give them that.
Earl?
I'll go St. Louis.
Fez?
Boston.
I'm going to go Boston, too.
All right.
Best basketball town?
New York.
Earl?
I will say Lakers.
L.A.?
L.A. Lakers.
I'll say Chicago.
I'm going to go New York with that. Football town?
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Oakland.
Washington, D.C. Fez, don't get mad at me, but I've never seen anything like Washington, D.C. Best hockey town?
I will say Detroit.
New York.
Philly.
I'm going to go Buffalo. I'm going to give it to the fine folks. No, not the fucking team. The best town. The best fans. Have you been going all this time for teams?
No. I've been doing what you said. I think Buffalo has great fans, but I think Detroit Red Wings have the championships and the fans still have the enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm. See, that's not the point of what we're talking about. We're talking about a town that's there for you. Now look at the Knicks. They can't win shit, or those people pack out that stadium.
They always come out, and they raise the ticket prices every year, and they keep coming. The team gets worse, they still keep coming.
Here's Mark. Mark, you're on Fez.
Dave, when's the last time you went to Shea Stadium?
1991.
They had pillars then?
Yeah, they had pillars.
They must have gotten rid of the pillars since then, I guess, because there's no pillars there now.
Well, go on the upper deck, my friend, because I went to a Mets-Cardinals game, and I'm happy to say the Mets lost 5-3.
How are there pillars in the upper deck? There's nothing above it.
Pillars and rafters is what I said.
Let's go. Any obstructive seating over there, Pitsy?
The only obstructive is the overhang.
Thank you.
That's not pillars. There's no pillars.
I said pillars and rafters.
That's bullshit.
I just heard pillars. I never heard rafter.
I know.
I cue up the tape, Earl. I didn't rafter.
Cue up the tape. An overhang is not a rafter either. You fuck. Larry, you're on Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to tell Dave he's a dumbass. He doesn't know anything about the Cardinals if he doesn't think that their fans are probably some of the best in the world.
Dude, I am saying a good fan is, yes, someone who supports them, but is also extremely critical of your team. And your Cardinals fans show too much love, whereas Yankee fans will give it to you if you fuck up. Don't you get that?
So you got to badmouth your team in order to be a good fan.
You have to see things clearly, and you have to see things both sided.
I think the problem is that we understand the game, and we understand where we're lacking and where
Here's Dave's thing. When his team loses the playoffs, he expects his owner to buy the National League and bring all those fucking players in. That you have no knowledge about how to build a team. None whatsoever.
Get me Ryan Howard.
You have never seen a young ball player in your life coming up. It's never happened for you.
I saw number 2 in '96 come up.
Howard, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, it's the Dolphins, when they had their perfect season, they went 17-0.
Yeah.
Garo, you muffed that field goal, which would have made the score 17-0, and it still just fucking burns my ass.
Still gets on your day, yeah. And you know what? Most of the Dolphins are still pissed about that to this day, too. They'd still like to wring his little fucking neck.
The imperfect season.
Will, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I just got to say, man, the Cubs fans are really where it's at as far as being true fans. We just get screwed over by management, by ownership, and...
Why do you take it, my friend?
What's that?
Why do you take it?
Why do you take it? Because there's the love there. I mean, I remember being a kid watching Jody Davis and hearing Harry Carey singing, Jody Davis. I mean, that's
what's that got to do with baseball? That always confuses me. Oh, a drunk guy used to be on the air every day. I'm out of my fucking mind on whiskey.
I remember, was it 1982, Yankees-Angels. Reggie comes back. It was like his first series back after leaving the Yankees. Guy hits, I think, 2 home runs. I think 33,000 fans screaming, Steinbrenner sucks.
Jody Davis, king of the wild hunt here. God, how they still love Harry Carey to this day.
And they forget the guy was a White Sox announcer forever.
Not just that. Wasn't he also Cards? Yeah.
He was also Cardinals, too.
Yeah, he was at Cardinals, I think, longer than he was with the White Sox. Their big tradition started in like 84.
It really did.
81.
81 and ran to what? 90?
Till he died.
Till was that?
99, I think? 99?
Yeah.
98, 99? When Harry died? But, I mean, yeah, it was like, Harry was a big, long-time customer. I was like, he came there in the 80s. What are you talking about?
Let me tell you, in Philly, when Richie Ashburn, who did color for them for years, and was a center fielder before that, is he a Hall of Famer, Earl? I believe he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes, I believe he's a Hall of Famer.
If not, he should be. Lifetime 300 hitter, I believe. When he died, open casket, and a fucking line that went on for miles. It was like the Pope was laying in state.
He's a great ball player. I remember that Yankee fans were always angry at Harry Carey because we thought that Phil Rizzuto invented the phrase "Holy cow," and then there was that battle. Was it Phil Rizzuto or Harry Carey who invented "Holy cow"?
Yeah, Phil Rizzuto was the worst. You should even know that, right?
I liked him though.
Earl.
The worst. It was so bad it was good.
How's about a Stellador? A guy who leaves the fucking ballpark. He leaves in the 8th inning. How's that fucking good?
No, he used to, if there was a game where there was even a hint of thunder, you hear the thunder crackle. I'm out of here, White. I'm out because he's so afraid of lightning.
For good reason. Did you know why that is? In the minor leagues, lightning struck the field that he was playing on and killed one of his teammates.
So what's that mean?
You go through that type of incident, you're not going to be afraid of lightning for the rest of your life?
You've got to stay and do the game if you want to be. What if you were afraid of lightning and every time there was a lightning story you left? I'd have to fire you, Dave. I can't keep a guy here who leaves the fucking show.
I would be justified if that happened.
That's like being in the Navy. Oh, I can't go out on the boat. I saw my cousin drown.
And he would just say that. He was like, you just hear boom, and he goes, oh, I'm out of here, White. You call a game. And we get up and leave.
Shoving old ladies and children to get out of the stadium.
Don, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, how's it going?
Yeah.
If you want to know what the Cub fans are all about, pull out the old clip of Lee Elia having a tirade with the press.
Yeah, we got that earlier. This is one of my all-time favorite clips. And I was lucky enough to play Dream Week with Lee Elia, was one of the coaches. And he taught me the term drop mud from whenever you had to take a shit. Because he said I missed that close play at third. I was dropping mud. During the fucking game, he goes in and takes the shit. Ilya spent some time with the Phils before that, though. So this is Lee Ilya. The Cubs fans, and this is when there was no night games. The Cubs fans were riding somebody because Ilya gets off to a terrible fucking start managing this team one summer. And this is him to press conference after the game.
I'll tell you one fucking thing. I hope we get fucking hotter than shit just to stuff it up them 3,000 fucking people that show up every fucking day. Because if they're the real Chicago fucking fans, they can kiss my fucking ass right downtown and print it. They're really, really behind you around here. My fucking ass. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Go out there and let my fucking players get destroyed every day and be quiet about it for the fucking nickel-dime people that show up? The motherfuckers don't even work. That's why they're out at the fucking game. They only go out and get a fucking job and find out what it's like to go out there and a fucking living. 85% of the fucking world's working. The other 15 come out here. A fucking playground for the cocksuckers. Rip them motherfuckers. Rip them cocksuckers like the fucking players. Got guys busting their fucking ass and them fucking people too. And that's the Cubs? My fucking ass. They talk about the great fucking support that the players get around here. I haven't seen it this fucking year. The name of the game is hit the ball, catch the ball, and get the fucking job done. Right now, we have more losses than we have wins. The fucking changes that have happened in the Cub organization are multifold. All right, they don't show because we're 5-14. And unfortunately, that's the criteria of them dumb 15 motherfucking percent that come out to day baseball. The other 85% are earning a living. It'll take more than a 5-13 or 5-14 to destroy the makeup of this club. I'll guarantee you that. There's some fucking pros out there that want to fucking play this game. But you're stuck in a fucking stigma of the fucking Dodgers and the Phillies and the Cardinals and all that cheap shit. All these motherfucking editorials about Say and fucking the Phillyitis and all that shit, it's sickening. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's a disheartening fucking situation we're in right now. 5-14 doesn't negate all that work. Got 143 fucking games left. What I'm trying to say is don't rip them fucking guys out there. Rip me. If you want to rip somebody, rip my fucking ass. But don't rip them fucking guys because they're giving everything they can give. But once we hit that fucking groove, it'll flow. And it will flow. The talent's there. I don't know how to make it any clearer to you. I'm frustrated. I'll guarantee you I'm frustrated. It'd be different if I walked in this room every day at 8:30 and saw a bunch of guys that didn't give a shit. They give a shit, and it's a tough National League East. It's a tough National League, period.
He's the best. I love the fact it sounds like someone's running a fucking vacuum cleaner. Rip them! Rip them for what they said! Just out of his fucking mind.
A vacuum cleaner or somebody blow drying their hair?
Oh, I hope not. That would really be bad.
I think it was the vacuum cleaner. All the reporters had just wandered away at that point, and he's still dropping F-bombs while someone's coming in to clean up.
And print it! He's fucking forcing them to print. You fucking fans suck.
Just furious at people who don't have jobs.
85% of the country's working. 50% are at the fucking ball game. That he's basically saying anyone who goes to our games has no job, has no life, has no purpose. Oh God, Leo is fucking amazing.
Wasn't he fired not long after that?
Oh, he had to be. First of all, you can't understand people are pissed off at 5-14. You're 19 fucking games in. Lee, you got 5 wins.
That was 14 out of 19 games. And 3,000 people show up. You're lucky you got that.
Print it! Rip those fuckers! Rip them like they ripped us!
What was the part where he started just listing teams? Like, I like the Dodgers and the Phillies. I like that small-time shit.
Everybody that they just recently lost to. Saying we've got Phillyitis. Because we can't beat those fuckers! Now listen to me. This whole thing's gonna take time. We're gonna turn this around. He'll get real positive for a second and then fucking beam off again. Just hysterical.
The sad part was he was absolutely right because the next year they won the East.
Yeah, without him.
Without him.
Without that fucker. He was doing some AAA ball down in goddamn Clearwater. We'll be right back. Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.
Hey, doggy, it's the best of Ron and Fez.
What a day we've had here, Fez. Right now, coming into the studio, probably the highest paid screenwriter of all time.
Joe Esterhaus is coming in studio with us. He's written things, of course, like Basic Instinct, The Jagged Edge, Flashdance, Showgirls. He's got a new book out called The Devil's Guide to Hollywood. Joe Esterhaus is with us.
Joe, nice to see you, sir.
Hi, guys. Nice to be here. Thank you.
This book, talk about a bridge burner, huh, Joe? Is there anybody in Hollywood over the last even 100 years you haven't taken down in this one?
I haven't. I don't view it that way. You know, I mean, I view it as this mild little book on screenwriting and what's happened to screenwriters through the years, with some anecdotes. Now, how am I going to give lessons about screenwriting without using anecdotal material? You know, that's impossible. And I wanted to write an anti-textbook because I think most textbooks are boring as piss, right?
Right.
This isn't. This is a textbook that will make you laugh and smile, and that you will actually enjoy. And maybe the only textbook that I've read that will actually make you laugh and smile and enjoy.
Now, when you say textbook, you don't really, you don't put a lot in for some of the people who teach how to screenwrite. You don't go for that so much.
I do a couple chapters. I think there are some things that are really useful. In terms of creating characters and how to build them and what to do and conflict and all of the usual things that screenwriting books tell you. But, you know, I go a little bit past that with things. You know, for example, I tell them that if they get the movie made, they should steal all the memorabilia that they can from the set before the actors do. It's a relevant part of movie making.
Yeah.
Also, too much masturbation isn't good. You know, some survey found that writers do more masturbating than anybody else, and that's not good. Cus D'Amato had a theory with Mike Tyson that I really believe in, saying, you know, Tuesday night before a fight, you know, so as you're writing, ease up on it. Put more of the energy into the material itself.
Now, we were talking about this. Not only have you written some of the most famous movies ever, but unlike a lot of people, you made sure you got paid for it. You made sure that you got some high prices.
Well, you know what I did? The most screenwriters go in and they make a deal for an idea. They sit down and say that, you know, I'm going to write this and how much will you give me? What I've done is I've just sat down and written it, the whole thing, and then I roll the dice and see if somebody wants it. Now, if the whole thing is done and everybody can read it, they can all bid on it if they like it or not.
Right.
I've had scripts like Basic that everybody bid on, but I've also had scripts that nobody bid on that nobody bought. It's a risk, but if it pays off, then it's going to pay off with some really big numbers.
How many scripts have you been able to sell in 1 year? It seems like you know, your name would pop up at a pretty quick pace in some of these things.
In 1993 or 4, when I was getting divorced from my first wife, and the lawyers were after me, and they wanted all the money that I'd ever made. They wanted to take my house and my cars. I sat down and wrote like 4 scripts that year just to have a life. And I did, you know, and I sold most of them, and I did have a life, but that's the most I've ever written because there were serious wolves at the door and people with guns in my head, and I just had to do what I do with a typewriter.
That's the motivation, right?
That was it. It's the basic primal human motivation. That's I wanted to have a life with the woman that I loved.
We had the producer, Christine Vachon, and I asked her, I go, why is it the director is that one single voice of a film. That in this country, we've kind of made it about the director, where you wouldn't even have a film without the script, right? I mean,
it's crazy what's happened. It all began in France, where guys who wrote and directed things became the total auteurs, so that a movie was by Francois Truffaut or Jean-Luc Godard, right?
Right.
By, period. Then what happened is that the same thing was done in this country with guys who didn't write and direct it, they just directed it. So you had some really crazy things begin happening, because the people beginning directors on their first movie suddenly had a by credit that no one had ever heard of them. And what it did was totally diminish the screenwriter's work unfairly, and it really reduced the screenwriter. I'm not surprised that a hot contemporary producer would feel that way about the director, because the farm has essentially been given away, and directors are viewed as being in a position where a movie is completely their own.
Now, have you had to fight it out for some of the stuff that you believed in, or?
Oh, man, I've been in one fight after another in the course of 30 years and 15 movies. It's always about the material. If I feel that something comes from my heart and gut, and I've sat down to write it, and suddenly somebody comes along and says, this isn't your vision, but Costa Gavras' vision, I get very, very pissed off. Costa's a terrific friend of mine, but I'll tell you a story that he told me. Costa was, of course, one of the world's best directors. He did Z and Missing. He was at a seminar, and they asked him about the movie we'd done together called Music Box. And they kept saying to him, why do your characters do things that way? And Costa kept saying, because Joe wrote them that way. And the question came back again, and finally Costa decided, they just don't want to hear about Joe.
Right.
They want me to tell them as the director why I did things a certain way. Look, I think that's one of the most terrible things that's happened in the past 30 years is the increasing importance of the auteur theory and what it's done to diminish screenwriters.
Now, even when you're writing an action film, I could see that getting away from the screenwriter a little bit because, from a visual point of view, the director might have a little more, more strength there of what the camera can and can't do. But with dialogue, why do you think they would buy a film of yours, or has this ever happened to you, and by the time you see it, it looks like nothing like the film that they paid all the money for?
It has happened to me. It happened to me in a little movie that I did that I entitled Pals. And something like 7 years after I wrote it, it was about a relationship between a woman and her two little kids and a con who just busted out. Jean-Claude Van Damme somehow got a hold of the script. Jean-Claude, to be fair to him, didn't want to change it. He wanted to prove that he could act and do a relationship piece. The studio didn't want to take a chance on Jean-Claude doing something like that. They wanted to do an action piece. And they turned it inside out to the point where when it came out as a movie called Nowhere to Run, I had to insist, probably for the first time in the history of the Writers Guild, that other people share the screen credit with me, because I didn't want it.
Normally you have to fight for that credit all the time,
right? Just for your own. You rarely ever have to fight saying I don't want it, but it was a real fight.
The other thing that I always with a lot of the big films is when they do a sequel, it never seems to me that they bring back the original screenplay. It's happened with you, Shane Black, and it seems like, oh, now I know what to do. We have Die Hard already written. Let's put it on a boat. Then everybody suddenly gets ideas, right?
Well, they asked me to do the sequel to Basic, and I didn't do it for two reasons. One, I didn't envision that story going on. When I saw it ended with the pig under the bed.
Right.
And what they ask you to do is to take a piece of rope and extend it and make it into a rubber band. And I'm not very good at that. The other reason, the human reason is that by contract, whether I wrote it or not, I was going to make a lot of money on the sequel anyway.
Right.
So why do the work?
Yeah. Sure. So you're going to make the cash, it doesn't matter to you.
Why do the work?
Joe Esterhaus is in studio with us. He's got a new book out called The Devil's Guide to Hollywood that's going to be available everywhere starting tomorrow.
Do you ever think of putting out a lot of your scripts as books? Does that happen often, or does that now belong to the movie studio once it's written?
It belongs to the studio, although, just coming here, I saw something really interesting on 53rd Street today. There's a big table. Some guy's out there selling scripts.
Right.
So there's obviously a market for it with people buying it. Otherwise, the table wouldn't be as big and all those scripts there.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the studio owns it. You have to go through the studio and get permissions. And those business affairs guys at studios aren't a real pleasure to deal with on a normal day.
Well, I think a lot of those scripts that you see sold to are downloaded off because some people read them online. But the problem is, like, we get normally to read the script that's already been shot.
Right.
I think with a lot of these films, it would be interesting to read what the writer put out there because it would be so different in some cases.
I've said for a long time that the only way that a film critic can make a real, honest, true evaluation of what's writer and what's director or who screwed it up or who made it better is to read the first draft of the screenplay and see the movie.
Will you go and read those reviews, and will they piss you off or make you happy? I mean,
sure, of course, you read them and they piss you off, but you can't take them seriously whether they're terrific or whether they're ugly. You go on and you do what you do. My father, I'm Hungarian born, and I came here to this country as an immigrant. My dad always would say to me that I come from real great peasant roots with my feet pretty firmly on the ground. I think that's pretty true. Right. So you don't take either one seriously.
And you've had that reputation of being a guy, like kind of a street guy. It seems like you never kissed a lot of ass out there in Hollywood either.
I grew up in a neighborhood where that wasn't done, on the west side of Cleveland and 41st and Lorraine. It doesn't come genetically easily to me to kiss that particular part of the anatomy, unless it's really gorgeous feminine one. And occasionally I'll do that. But in a normal course of day-to-day life, certainly in Hollywood, the posteriors aren't nice enough to kiss.
What do you look over as you look back on this part of your career now? Do you have a film that you're most proudest of, or said, this is the way I wrote it, this is what I was thinking the whole time?
There's a cliche about it. Whenever you ask somebody does a movie, they always say their most recent one, right?
Right.
I've got a movie coming out on the 23rd of October, premiering in Budapest, Hungary. When it comes to this country in the early part of next year, and it will be distributed here, and it will also go to the film festivals, called Children of Glory. And the reason that I love it so much is because it's about the Hungarian Revolution of 1956, where Hungarians with sticks and stones and bottles went up against the Russian tanks, and they freed the country for a period of 10 days. Then the Russians came back in and decimated everything. But it's a great historical event, and it was in my life as a kid growing up. So I wrote a movie about this that they just made. Andy Vajna, who produced the Terminator movies and who also did Music Box when he produced it. I saw it 2-3 weeks ago, and it's really terrific. It's a big historical epic, and it's a terrific movie. But other movies, I love Basic. I really do. I think it was beautifully done. Telling Lies in America is one of my favorites. I like Music Box very much. I've been really lucky as a screenwriter. There aren't many where I go, oh my God, that's terrible. Nowhere to Run is one of them. But looking at the whole Jade didn't work very well for me, neither did Sliver. But looking at the 15 movies, there really aren't that many that I loathe.
I guess you got to feel pretty good about that over the years,
I do.
right?
Yeah. One of the reasons I wrote the book is because I wanted to show every screenwriter book tells about all these horror stories where screenwriters get screwed over somehow. Yeah. Right? And I wanted to write a book where I could say, no, that doesn't have to happen. You can win your battles if you know what you're doing, if you know when to negotiate and when to fight, and there are a lot of tricks that can be learned here. You can win those battles, but it's very much of a street turf, and you're facing guys who can get real ugly if you go up against them, and you really have to fight if you want to win the battle. A lot of writers don't feel like putting that kind of effort into it, and to tell you the truth, I got really tired after 15 pictures and 30 years of one fight after another. You get tired. That's why I started writing books.
And, even some of the, most famous writers of our times, William Faulkner and Heming, everybody that would be a big novelist would do a short stint in Hollywood and just find out that all the respect that they thought that they deserved, or they probably did deserve, over the course of their life, thrown out the moment they get to Hollywood.
But what happened is that these guys went in with the attitude of saying, the screenplay doesn't matter, I'm just doing it for the money, I'm not going to put my heart and soul and gut into it, I'm going to reserve that for the books, and the screenplay is just for the cash. One of my arguments is, if you write something, whether it's a screenplay in whatever form, and if you create it out of your own heart and gut and soul, then fight for it as much as if it were a book. Don't just go in and saying, I'm just doing this for the bucks, because then you're hooking. And that's really what hooking is all about.
Yeah.
And you know, I know this is going to sound outrageous, but if you look at those very famous writers, members of the Algonquin group, Benchley, Dorothy Parker,
Perlman, on like
Perlman, Nathaniel West, Faulkner. Hemingway didn't really write scripts, but Faulkner. What those guys really did was hooked in terms of screenplays.
So they just, only after they felt like, I've worked too hard on my books, now I'm going to cash in a little bit.
When they needed money, they went to Hollywood. Faulkner worked in Hollywood. Most people don't know. Faulkner worked in Hollywood for almost 25 years. He had an entirely separate life. He had a mistress. You know, he had a whole different life. He always had a total disregard for it. You know, when he had some horses out there, and one of them was going to foal, and he took the horse and drove it back to Mississippi. He said, "This horse ain't foaling in Hollywood."
It's a pleasure to have you in here, and most people probably know you. You know, the infamous story about when you took on CAA when they were really at their biggest. Any repercussions for that?
Well, at the time, my people never felt that there was going to be stuff then. On the very next script that we took out, which was about a year after my issue with Michael Ovitz and CAA, a script called Original Sin, they did anything and everything to try to stop that sale. That was going to be payback time. But you know what? With an awful lot of push and with some agents who were very pissed off because they knew what was going on, we managed to sell it anyway. Past that, they really were not.
And then I guess that even eventually worked back to your credit, where people, it kind of make you a folk hero, and people, you know, that were afraid of CA, you know, wanted to be on your team, I guess.
You know what happened is that when it happened, he denied, excuse me, having said those things to me. In a book published something like 8 years afterwards, he finally admitted it. And he said, yes, I did say those things to him, but I was joking. Well, I didn't think it was very funny, damn it. I really didn't.
I'm going to ruin you. That was a cute one. Joe Esterhaus, thanks so much for being in here.
Thank you.
It's a real pleasure.
I enjoyed it.
If you need more information with anything going on with Joe Esterhaus, it's joeesterhaus.com.
Can I say one other thing? The title of that book fully is The Devil's Guide to Hollywood. The screenwriter is God.
Is that
is God.
Nice.
And I really love that, considering how screenwriters all through the years have been reduced to second-class citizens. In this book, the screenwriter is God.
Have you heard from other screenwriters saying about time?
I've heard a lot of that sentiment through the years because I've been very public about what I think screenwriters should do. And I've gotten a lot of support from screenwriters who say, thank you, finally somebody believes in going to the wall.
Is the Writers Guild much help when it comes to that? Or?
No, the Writers Guild historically has not gotten involved in creative stuff at all. They're terrific when it comes to things like health insurance and pension plans and all of that stuff, but really terrific. But when you're talking about getting involved and, you know, really going after writers' rights, no. I suggested them some years back that the next time the LA Times, the New York Times runs an article and they refer to a film as a film by Marty Scorsese, let's say, even though Paul Schrader may have written it, that the Writers Guild organize a picket line and go in front of the newspapers. But for whatever reason, they didn't like that idea.
They're not going to deal with it. But it is funny that most of the time when you see a great Scorsese film, the script was there. Paul Schrader had done terrific work for him.
Look at Paul Schrader's body of work. You know, that was a screenplay that came out of his own vision. It was beautifully directed. I'm not taking anything away from the man as a director, but it didn't come from, the vision didn't come from there.
Has anyone ever, you being the expert of this, a great director was able to turn something good out of a shit script? Has there ever been that case where you went, wow?
The conventional wisdom is that a good director can take a good script and ruin it. That a great director can take a good script and ruin it. But that the greatest director in the world can't take a bad script and make it into a good movie.
What about with the actors? How do you get along with most of them?
In different ways, you know. Sometimes you have to understand that all of the convolutions that the actors are going through come with their baggage, and you want to say, Just say the fucking words.
Right.
Okay, that's all. Just say the words. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what Spencer Tracy did. That's what Bogart did. We don't have to go through all this Hazarai and pain. Just say the words.
It's got to be funny, too, that you're such a much bigger guy than most action film stars. You walk out onto the set and probably have lived the kind of life that they're acting like they've lived.
Well, Sly and I had a fight on Fist, and then there was a bad fight. We disagreed, and many years later, we made it up and became friends. But whenever I saw him, I would always say, "Hey, you got your uppers on today, man."
He's a tiny little thing.
He does have a good sense of humor.
And he's got the new Rocky film coming out.
Yes, he does. I hope it does. I hope it does well. I'd like to see him do well.
Went back to that well one more time. Joe Esterhaus, get the opportunity to go out and see him tonight.
That is going to be at Borders, 10 Columbus Circle, starting at 7 o'clock, where Joe's going to be signing his new book, The Devil's Guide to Hollywood. The Screenwriter is God.
Thank you.
There you go.
Screenwriter is God, Fez.
Thank you.
Don't forget that one. Thanks so much for coming in, Joe.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Joe. And that book is available nationwide tomorrow. And, of course, you can also check out everything online at joeesterhaus.com. Thanks a lot, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
The Ron and Fez Show.
XM 202.